What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
You gotta give him that huck and spit on that thing. You get me?
I'm gonna come.
What can I say? Bit the cobwebs off this thing.
I'm gonna do it.
No.
I never listen. I'm gonna listen. I wanna listen to the dumb zone.
Yeah, that thing hasn't died down yet, has it?
No. And it'll probably have a second life and a third life. I wonder how many dudes got, like, the best OS of their life this weekend.
Oh, you've never done that before.
I saw something on the internet.
I mean, how many dudes wanted it? But I don't know that. Yeah, your lady has to be on board.
Yeah, but I mean, an
problem.
increase is an increase, right?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
But you said the best ever.
Perhaps.
Anyway, we're doing a studio show today, so this will be available on YouTube. It is a free show. It's on the World Wide Web. Apparently, we're on Twitter as well.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
We're live.
We're live streaming. That's right, yeah, not just on YouTube. Sorry. There's so many iterations. So, yeah, welcome. Hello, everyone. It's 12:02.
Oh, back to this.
Yeah, let's time check.
Oh, I need to check my Wiley weather station.
Who are you?
I'm Dan McDowell.
I'm Jay Kemp.
I'm Blake.
Yeah, someone had mailed us, or no, was it just a gift from a 690 guest? No, it was a mail.
Yeah.
Somebody sent Blake a weather center, and you actually installed it.
That's the first thing I did when I got home.
And then you greeted your little 2-year-old son?
Yeah, he could wait.
Yeah.
I got stuff to do.
So you're aware of the barometric pressure?
Still don't know what it means, but I got it.
You know what the humidity is today? Can you check it like on your phone?
I need to. Apparently, it can do that. I haven't set that up yet.
Little Bluetooth?
We're talking
Probably
apps?
Wi-Fi.
You talking apps, bro?
Yeah, humidity was in the low 40s when I left this morning.
It was not too bad this morning.
No.
No.
I've seen it get up to like 71.
Wow.
Like in the evening time.
Wow.
Just prime mosquito weather.
Yeah,
Just horrible.
they're breeding,
It's
from what I hear.
mosquito season.
Yeah.
How do they do that?
How do they do what?
Breed. Do they have relations? Or do they just like lay some eggs and the guy fertilizes?
This stemming from do ants pee?
Mm-hmm.
Do mosquitoes have wieners?
We've gotten a lot of feedback on how often you're saying wiener.
Yeah?
Yeah. And I'm with the people. You should stop.
Stop?
I love it.
All right. Do mosquitoes have cocks? Dump that.
Somehow that doesn't feel better.
Can we dump things?
No, we can't.
Oh, no. Let's go to the phones.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine that they have to fertilize in one way or another.
Yeah.
So they
I mean,
must have-
fish don't actually hook up,
Right.
What?
right?
What do they
just
do?
lay some eggs and then go drop some fertilizer on it and stuff.
That's boring.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Oh, what do we got
a
here?
video here of mosquitoes having
Picture of
sex.
mosquito.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're in our studio
Speaking of
today.
other things that don't procreate,
We have plenty of sports to get to.
how about those 3 scientists?
Okay. There you go. Yeah. Okay.
Jeez, Blake.
What?
On today's
You
show,
just said cock.
One for every pod.
we will. We're going to extensively cover the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders documentary.
I did watch the first episode.
Okay,
I did almost finish it, and then almost finished.
but we'll. Anyway, we're in our studio today, and we should say it seems to be a full studio.
Mm-hmm.
We actually have the familiar intern Rachel, and then we have a new intern.
Is this official?
I don't know. I think she's here to help out a little bit. She is Drop Beth. We've met her before. She was in the den.
Yeah.
She has been in the den, and she reached out, and I forwarded her email to Rob, and I'm kind of picking up on Rob's hiring practices.
Yeah.
Because we've also got like 100 dudes that have emailed us, and we end up with the 2 ladies that have emailed in.
Yeah.
And said they wanted to be a part of things, and Rob's like, "Sure, yeah." You want to see my resume? No.
No,
It's just
no.
I'm fine.
Just be here at this time.
Just send me your Instagram.
Yeah, you get here a little early. Get here before the other guys.
Yeah, you're only
Oh.
fans.
Let's and they get on the couch, and we've all seen that video. Anyway, speaking of the couch, so on the couch we not only have we have like Rachel's husband is here for some reason.
He paid his $6.90 to be here.
Oh, it's his birthday.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday to Rachel's husband. What's your name, dude?
Colin.
Colin.
He had a choice between
Oh, no.
I'm curious.
Come on.
He had a choice between coming in here or the Huck Tua.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Dominic.
Hey, Dominic.
Oh, yeah, and look what Colin, for his birthday, we brought him Dominic Robinson right
on
here.
the couch.
The great Dominic Robinson, once
Right there
again.
in front
There's the I was waiting for some
Chisholm
applause.
Trail.
See, Dominic, it'll be interesting, your thoughts on today's program, really at the end for sure, because you're the first guy, I think, to be in the den and in the studio, and there's no gap. So now it's last show, you were in the den.
Yeah.
This
Friday.
show, you're in the studio.
No.
Now you can kind of get the feel. Yeah, it was Friday.
Yeah, it was Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was your birthday, remember?
It was.
It was your birthday Friday, and now it's his birthday. Whoa.
Whoa.
Good
Nice.
times.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And today's
Gemini.
the
Cancer.
24th of 2024.
One of those.
That mean something?
Today's
I
the
don't
first what? Sorry. Talked over.
It's 6/24/24.
That's awesome.
And
That's
6 times 4
Oh,
is
cool.
24.
Rachel looks freaked out.
6 times 4 is 24, bro.
Fantastic.
2
yeah.
plus 4?
Uh-huh.
6.
Yep, that's pretty awesome.
Wow. All right. Let's take a break. Oh. No. So Dominic Robinson, you know what? We need an intro for Dominic Robinson. Should have had
I
one.
know. I should have had it ready.
Okay,
I think I told you over the weekend I would do it, but I didn't.
Tell the whole story again.
Rachel said she had never heard of the Deuce Robinson story. And for those who didn't tune in Friday,
Okay, we're
Here
not.
we
go.
No,
No, it was behind the paywall, so some people need to hear this.
I gotta
we're not doing it.
I got a DM,
Get to
For
the salad
free.
part.
Do the free version.
had a salad,
Did you meet Dabo?
and then I met Dabo.
Took a
and then
picture with
Dominic.
Dabo's wife.
And then all of a sudden, Dominic's in the den. That's the whole story,
Yeah, but there's a whole Cooper Manning thing, too.
right? So just go ahead and sign up for the old Patreon, patreon.com/thedumbzone.
That's what you're
Right.
missing out on.
What's that?
Yeah, you could hear that story a fifth time.
Well, I
How
have
about-
a question. What did you tell
Now
your
he's
son?
acting beaten by it.
Well, I just don't want to hear it again today.
Oh.
We have follow-up questions.
Go ahead.
Well, I was curious. What did you tell your son about Dan? That some random guy would was he in on the bit or?
No.
Yeah,
so
like going into it.
Part of the bit was also giving Deuce no information. So he was just as puzzled about this. But Deuce obviously knows me a lot better, so he knows he's really good at like, oh, Pops is working on something.
Yeah.
And he
Let's
was
just let him
right
cook.
there. Yeah, he's like, just let me go. He's stepped back and like, okay, I see what's happening here. And he played along with it. Like every time I introduced Dan as like my best friend Dan, Deuce was just like, yeah, it's just like, oh, there's Uncle Dan.
Yeah.
He was there when I was born. Known him forever.
Yeah, he rolled with it pretty good, and that helped a lot because that made Dan feel even more awkward because he just didn't know. Am I supposed to know this guy the way that I do?
Why does
or-
everybody want to mess with me?
I've said this before, and I know that it's probably not possible, but maybe like a 1% chance that we end up in the green room.
It's going to be amazing.
Dan and Jake with suits on. Blake, you can come too. Why don't you come to the draft green room with us, buddy?
I got to record and stuff.
And we're just there like, hey, just clapping.
Just hugs.
Dap up. Yeah, maybe I get to...
Jake can cry because Jake's a good crier.
Yeah,
Cry for the camera.
I'll cry at home. Even if we're not there, I'll cry when Deuce gets drafted. I think that would be great for us.
That would really pump up the subs.
10 or 12 more.
Mm-hmm. So how about a nice weekend check?
How about it?
Let's hear what everybody did over the weekend. Blake, you want to start?
We did the first edition of the Dumb Zone Weekly Wrap-Up this Saturday.
I heard it was awesome, too.
Here.
We're very, very happy with that.
It, if we can peel back the curtain a little bit, it felt kind of redundant because it feels like everyone listens to every episode now, whereas in the radio world, maybe you missed a segment or two.
I'm finding that's not true, though.
It's not true.
I got a lot of feedback.
Okay.
They really liked it. I didn't get a chance to listen a lot this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we keep it going.
And think of all the people that signed up, like just Friday night.
Yeah, and we're already
Those
paying
three
you an exorbitant amount of money, so...
But
Yeah.
you were doing that before, and now we've added, so maybe we need to...
I don't know about that. Man, I remember hosting the Bad Radio Weekly wrap-up podcast, and I didn't really have like any great space in my house to do it, so I would go to my car in the garage with like a USB mic and just sit there and be like, "Hey, folks, Dan had a funny bit." Like 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I know it's a thankless job, but I think it's really cool that you're doing it.
Okay.
I'm not going to pay you $1 more for it.
That's
so
fine.
Can I also say we, as a P1 or former P1 or whatever we are now, we need more of that. Like you guys telling us about experiences like that, because we love that. The behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Bad radio. Whatever it was, music, whatever, relationships, things that happen. Because stuff like that is, because, we listen to like the weekly wrap up, and in our mind, we have a picture of how it went. And now you tell us that, and we're like, oh, it's nothing like we think.
I understand that.
Well, I recorded in my really nice studio, so a little bit of different.
Your gaming studio?
With your chair with fans in it.
Has speakers in it. That is a good idea.
Your big map with the little pins in it of where you've been. Someone gave us a map. My architect.
Mm-hmm.
My lady architect.
Just a map?
Do you have to say lady architect, or could she just be an architect?
Yeah, it was a weird qualifier, to be honest.
No, she gave us a map with the push pins so that we could put it up on the wall here. That was her vision. Put it up on the wall here, and then any road trips we take.
We have one for the daughter.
What, a map?
Yeah,
for
we just
where she's been.
Where we've been.
Oh, so you can scoreboard her?
Well, yeah.
Hey, we went on
scoreboard,
vacation
but
without
also
you.
she can like ask us like, what was this place like? What was this place like? What was this place like? So, but that was at.
So you have like the place where you're like, well, that's where Robert Kraft got a hand job.
Yeah.
This is where Tiger Woods.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
But I would like some help with the name. I would like you to call it something else besides Weekly Wrap Up. That's been done before. So let's crowdsource this thing.
Okay. Yeah, on the spot, I'm not sure that I have you, but somebody will.
No, somebody that's creative out there will help. And then if I can bring the room down.
Come on, man.
Buddy of mine's wife had a medical scare, which sent me down this path of, like, we go through these phases in life where your early 20s, like all your friends are getting married. Who is that?
I believe Caitlin was out of order there.
Okay. I don't know, 25.
Can we describe drops now?
He loves
first
playing
kid.
drops.
But just, I thought I was thinking it would be Akash, but then when it wasn't, it threw me off.
Yeah.
Settle down, Caitlin.
No, but we go through like marriages and then your first kid, and then now at this age, it's like some of your friends are dying or getting divorced or something. So now that just made me sad that we're just getting old, and now we're into the phase where our friends' parents are dying or something, and so it's like, what do we look forward to now? Nothing.
Yeah, and like the friend divorces that's a really weird. It happens like early, mid, late 30s.
Yeah.
Your 30s, I suppose.
Like you do congratulations or I'm sorry.
You feel it out first.
You could tell which ones are headed that way.
Yeah.
And then you call his wife, be like, hey, I mean, we've been friends too, and
Yeah.
just if you ever need a shoulder to
Sure.
Cry on a little coffee. But yeah, no, you're right. It is interesting to watch like the transition of life.
Yeah.
Is she okay?
Well, that's pretty deep.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's okay, but it just, I don't know, it's like a preface to what we're going to be going through for the next 30 years, unfortunately.
If you're lucky.
Yeah. See, wouldn't you rather hear about
Jeez.
Halo? Isn't that better?
Yeah, Optic is
Yeah, you
way
didn't
more
have to
exciting.
tell us that your friend's wife
It's
has
just
died.
what's
or
going
whatever.
on in our life. I just thought we're open and honest. And
Okay, we are. That's our fault.
yeah.
It's just too open.
Video Man is Rob. Oh, are you done?
Yeah.
Seemed like you were wrapping up. I don't want to.
I'm done.
Didn't know if you wanted
Cut you off
to tell
pretty
us
quick
you
there.
went 2 for 4 with a
The Indian season's
triple
over.
off the wall. Oh, okay. Your softball season is over.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Video Man is also known as Rob Chickering. In another life, he was the skydiving chief.
I also wouldn't tell you if I went 2 for 4.
Why? That's embarrassing.
Yes.
Oh.
That's not bad.
Jake tells us when he just blocked a guy.
Well, that's his highlight.
Jake leans on team stats. He'll be like, another win.
Yeah, we won. Yeah.
You guys want to hear another flag football story?
You need the guy who's willing to do the dirty work.
You actually do.
Yeah. You take that guy in round 8, but I'm a first-round pick I got to put on.
Speaking of that guy, Jake, Rob had a
It's hard.
possibly did something in a week. He's also trying to figure out drops with Drop Beth. Drop Beth can't come to the show anymore because Rob is too distracted.
I'm way distracted.
Find me a laugh.
He has a mic now?
I know. Dan told me to get a mic.
Oh, he demanded it. I was like, nah, I don't know, dude. And he's like, oh, bro, I need to.
Yeah,
I got stuff to say.
I need spare time.
So
your
Well, this
weekend
is
check?
going great.
Yeah.
What's he doing?
What you want to know what I did?
Yeah, weekend check.
Okay. You guys know I'm a freelance photographer. Do a little video and freelance photography. And the Granada Theater hired me for a Friday event. Ticket Chill.
Ah, the new
I believe
summer
it's called
bash.
Summer Chill.
Oh, Ticket Summer Chill.
Yep.
Chill.
Yep.
Chill Bash.
I will market them better than you, who was employed.
So here's what the Ticket did when we left. The Ticket radio station in Dallas, who you don't know, and that's where we used to work for many, many years. And now we don't. But for years, I wanted to go to, I pitched, hey, will you send our show to spring training? 20 years I asked for this, and they never did it. And the second we left, they sent our replacement show to spring training.
Yeah.
Yep.
And for 20 years, we've been going to Summer Bash, just sweating our balls off all day. Just,
And it just kept getting worse. Like it was like, what if we just move this to the sun?
So I would pack a bag with new underwear and shorts and T-shirt, like, because I would change mid-Summer Bash. Kind of like guys, I'm very similar to a pro athlete. Like Kyrie might change jerseys
Halftime.
or something, or Tyler Sagan will change during a game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing. I'm kind of like Tyler Sagan.
Yeah.
Many would say.
Yeah.
And, so now they do it indoors in air conditioning. And that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I was the last one, but I was one of the last fight nights. And I thought I was going to die.
Oh, you fought outside?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, they moved that indoors. That was a great day when they moved that
Used to be at the
indoors.
village, outside the village.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The day they moved that indoors was one of the best days of my life.
Because it's in August.
Followed up, then it was the birth of my child. And then,
Right.
but the day,
Then the chase down block. but it's all right
Wait,
there.
that's above
Yeah.
the birth of the child.
But yeah, I remember thinking like, man, if I could have fought inside at the bomb factory.
How many more rounds could you have gone just having a little air conditioning to help you out there?
Infinite. I didn't need any more rounds, though.
So you worked for the Granada.
Done.
Yeah.
The ticket didn't happen.
Yeah, the Granada hired me, and I imagine it raised a few eyebrows when I showed up with my camera gear and like, what you doing here?
Like
But
you
it
were
was cool.
spying?
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but
Hey, let's steal their event.
everybody was super cool. Yeah, I know. I'm going to steal
You'd have
all
4
the
people show
intellectual
up.
property from the ticket at this event.
Yeah.
No, it was great. It was good seeing everybody. Got to talk to George and Bob. Bob asked me how it was going over there at the Dumb Zone.
Hey,
Good.
Rob.
Yeah, I was going at the Dumb Zone. That was good. It was a good event. Good crowd. Everybody seemed to enjoy it. Lots of interesting cover songs played.
Okay.
Corby did a good rant revival song, which was
Yeah,
pretty
the Zach
fun.
Bryan song.
Yeah, it was really good. They did a nice
Yeah.
job on that. That was fun. But yeah, good crowd. Got out of there. And that was about it for me.
That's all he's got.
That's it. No skydiving, no nothing. No, sorry.
No free dive.
Nope.
I didn't do a lot either. I have sent the missive out to our potential guest, Rob, in case they do hook up. But I went, so my big thing, tells you how little I do over the weekend, but my big thing was that took daughter number 2 on it's a thing we've done before in this exact same order. We go to Half Price Books.
Okay.
Down there on Harwood.
Yep.
That's probably your home, Half Price Books.
Pretty close, yep. When publishers would send me a book, that's where I would take it.
No, but I mean, that's around your house where you grew up.
Yeah.
If that was there back then.
It was. Oh, it's been there a
was.
long time, for sure.
Okay. Then we swing over to Chan's Mongolian Grill in North Richland Hills, which is an all-you-can-eat buffet where I would like to say I used to eat 2 plates and I don't anymore.
Good for you. Good for you.
I love Chan's, man.
As I've told you many times.
I would love one of those big things in the middle of my kitchen. Grill, I guess you would call it.
Yeah, no, it's more than that. It's like a griddle.
It's just big and round and
yeah, I mean,
it's awesome.
Maybe a wok is what you
wok.
call it, but yeah. And as I've told you many times, I used to have my brother's jersey hung up there.
Oh, that's right.
Because he used to eat there so much that they had my brother's Tulane jersey.
Did they give him free food?
That I don't know, but I mean, he was there a lot, so I would assume there was at least a discount in play.
I was thinking, if I was in college.
Dude, and you're looking to bulk?
Yeah. I would be eating there every night.
Yeah.
Place is great.
Yeah.
But they're making money on me now.
Well, that's cool. You guys still have like a
broccoli.
little tradition.
Yeah. And then also on Saturday, so I told you I have a new guy for lawn care,
and
he's white, and I'm really happy about that. Like I have a white guy doing my lawn care, and I kind of wonder: is this racist to have this thought that I'm happy that my lawn guy is white? So joining us now from the, he's also in the Washed Network empire, is KJ Ellis. You know him. He's also been in the den for an earlier episode, but
Thank you.
Blake says that everybody's heard every second we ever said, so I shouldn't even reset that. Were you there pre-Blake?
No reason. No, I was not there pre-Blake. And
Okay.
in fact,
So it was a good episode.
I wanted Detour to apologize to Blake because I think I asked if he was going to be so catatonic while we were recording. And then I went on just a nonstop talk for about an hour and a half and, saved Blake from having to say anything. And I felt terrible about it for the next 2 months.
Kajan, what is happening to your beard? That is so fucking hot.
Just the
Letting it
mix?
go gray.
The salt and pepper?
Oh my
I'm letting it
God,
go
that
gray.
looks good.
I'm glad that Dan gave the backstory of why I was on today. But when we have time, I do have a question about how to handle the community pool scene that I'm facing myself with and, how to navigate that without divorce. I'm going to need some advice from you fellas.
Community pool?
Why not just do it now?
Correct. Well, order of operations. If he wants to talk landscapers, we can do that all day.
Community pool, though.
got-
Let's go. What are you talking about?
as it is the year 2024 of our Lord, community pools are integrated. I'm a member, paying member, eligible
It's been that
member.
way for a long time. Yeah.
First year I've been a member.
Okay.
And he
How
also
does
lives
one
in Wisconsin now, so maybe they haven't
Like
been
half an hour outside of
integrated that long.
Madison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, less than that. Well,
Less
you
than
know,
that.
whatever.
Okay.
Madison adjacent. How does one navigate taking sand to the beach, if you will? In this case, wife, kids, 4 and 2 years old.
Not
in an
your wife's not
environment in which
4,
I definitely
and
should
your
not-
kid's not 2 years old. You have a wife and a 4 and 2 year old child, just to be clear.
Yes, grammatically speaking.
Okay.
Am I able to attend this pool solo? Like, would it be weird to be like, hey, I take the kids and the wife from like noon to 3, and I come back, pop up for a shift from like 5 to 7 when things really start getting interesting around the pool? Because the scene I am not responsible enough to like endure with the family around. There's a lot going on.
I don't think you can go to a community pool solo. I don't think so. I feel like you just look too horny.
Is it in your neighborhood?
Yes.
So walkable. Man.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like the neighborhood pool.
I think he can go solo.
I mean, what if the family's out of town? You just want to go take a swim?
Sure.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm going to say yeah.
What do you think, Dom?
I guess I need to
No,
get some
hell
lessons.
No community
No,
pool?
Not by yourself. No, you cannot.
We're such
You
enablers.
cannot. It sucks. I agree.
I think you can't.
You can't. You can't do it, man. Like Jake said, it just screams, I am here looking for some ass.
Yes, it really
Just
does.
Screams.
We're
Like,
just here to look at it.
our age,
Yeah.
you got to be like in your 20s-ish to get away with that.
Yeah.
By yourself.
I think
Once you
a
get
near
to about 35, it starts.
I think a near 40-year-old man showing up at a community pool at 5 o'clock on a Saturday looks like where are the single moms?
Yeah.
Not swimming, not tanning. Like, I don't have a built-in excuse is the problem.
Hey, you need me to take one of them? I'll swim with one of them for a minute. Take the load off.
Should I just
think
start
that
checking IDs? Like, I could play that role. I can check IDs.
Like, it's okay to
That
go to the
double
playground
that.
by yourself, right? No? Oh.
Yeah, I think no.
Oh. Okay.
Before one more thing before we get to lawn care.
Go ahead.
So KJ's going to Idaho with me. Two things about this. One, Coeur d'Alene, or Coeur d'Alene, whatever you call it, is apparently like the home of white supremacy. And when he found that out, our idea was we have two options. Either you can't come out with us, or we're going to dress you like Malcolm X.
Or the Utah women's basketball team. Like, that was also on the list.
That's
let's
what
be
happened.
clear.
Like, that's where that happened. Like, there was a women's basketball tournament somewhere in Idaho. Was it in?
And what happened?
They got racial slurs yelled at them extensively.
This recent?
I believe.
Yeah, it was like in March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe the Utah women's basketball team was staying in Coeur d'Alene to play Gonzaga, and that might not even be accurate, but I feel like that's close.
Yeah.
Somewhere thereabouts.
And that's right around the
yeah,
time that
got
we
shouted
booked this
down.
trip.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, dude.
The ghost of Don Imus showed up to share his thoughts about the team.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
But what if we made you dress as Brother Mazzone from The Wire? Put a bow tie on. And then the second thing was
Now that
when you told
No,
us,
you just have to punch him in the face when one of them guys starts.
yeah,
you
I'm,
know,
like, come on, I'm on your side.
Yeah.
The second thing was speaking of like Blake's point about being this age was when somebody tells you on the group email, hey, I have a CPAP machine.
We had a few CPAP machines in Arizona.
Like, I got to have my own space to sleep.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you're rooming with somebody, that's a necessity.
Like when someone lets you know,
Okay.
like, look,
I mean, that's just being nice.
there's backstory to both of these. And now that I think about this is not my first trip with Jake. Let's make that very clear. This might be year 6 or 7.
sure.
And thinking about the places we've gone, Hangout Fest is in Southern Alabama. We've done Montana a couple of times. Texas, you can count it or if you don't. I'm beginning to question like our criteria for trip picking.
Yeah, we've never gone to Harlem.
If we're going to Jackson, Mississippi next year, like maybe that changes things. But
don't hold your breath.
Connecticut, I'm sure is going.
He can't hold his breath. Literally. He needs a machine for it.
Yeah, it's true.
That's awesome.
So,
but year one, I showed up very late. I slept on a washer machine out of guilt of like not snoring around the other folks in the room.
Yep.
And from there on out, it became a center of attention, and nobody guilted me into it. But as a member of the team, my contribution was seeking out additional therapy, which was, in the form of CPAP. So somebody else will sleep well. That's my contribution.
So my question was, we have a white lawn guy now, and I like it because the same language is spoken by both of us. And just there's an understanding of everything that's going to happen. And I don't know. I just feel better about it also, just in that same way I've told you before. Like, I can't go get a pedicure.
Yeah.
Because I can't have, like, a Vietnamese lady kneeling at my feet cleaning them. It's just, like, feels so...
Slavey.
It feels slavey. Okay.
I'll just say it.
I would never go get a shoe shine at the airport. Let alone I don't wear shoes that need shined. But if I did, I would not have I don't want any man kneeling down, cleaning my shoes. That seems really wrong, but especially a black guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the same, it's just that same feeling if you're telling someone what to do with your lawn. Like, hey, I want you to, look, it's 1,000 degrees out here. I could do it. I'm going to go sit in there and have a drink. It's real air conditioned.
Get my computer out.
Give you a little bit of money to do it. But clearly that's the way it should be here. Like, I don't want anyone, I don't want another minority group working my lawn.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, does that make it racist for me to even say this? And so I remembered I was listening to KJ on a podcast quite some time ago where he was talking about the fact that he moved to Wisconsin. And one of the great things about it is, as a black man, he likes having a white guy cut his lawn. And so I really brought you on to tell me that I'm not racist because you have the same, like... or is this a thing where I can't say the same routine that Chris Rock says? Like, just because Chris Rock says it, I can't say it. Like, can I not say this, but KJ, you can say this?
If you're going to allow me to have the power to grant this as approvable, I approve it. I do think you should be honest that it's not the se comprende, like the initial conversation that you're worried about.
That is a part of it. That is a part of it.
Nobody wants to go out to be the guy correcting.
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
That's the conflict is the real fear.
I mean, my wife is real particular about like everything, and she doesn't want these certain little trees that are growing up but I want it weeded, but I can't really. I could tell the other guy. Look, wives, give him a little wink.
You don't have to.
Just don't pull any of these trees. I know it's ridiculous. These trees are going to die soon anyway, but I just got to appease her. And, yeah.
May I offer a rebuttal?
Go forth.
Because this reminds me of when, Peter Dinklage got mad at Snow White for casting dwarves.
Yeah.
Because Peter Dinklage then just took work away from dwarves.
Yeah. So this is the conflict. Like, you want
but now you're just
Caucasian.
So I'm taking work away
because
from...
it makes you feel better, but you're taking work away from people.
And now you're giving your money to the whites.
Yeah. Right. Am I just keeping the money in white people land?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as if like you also have an affinity for, I don't know, World War II memorabilia or anything like that. Like there are no other boxes being checked.
No, I don't.
You live in a fairly diverse community.
He has no priors.
Like there are no other signs that would lead one to believe anything problematic is going on. You don't have a cut.
The community is very diverse.
Yeah, this all checks out now.
All right.
Yeah.
Why did we invite him on?
That's all I was.
It was your idea.
I
Oh, it
appreciate
was my
it.
idea. Damn it. All right, we have one more weekend check to get to. You want to hang during it, KJ? You have anything to do?
I'll hop. I'll let you fellas do it. I'm just honored to be in the presence of Dominic. So, I'll hang for another weekend. Check about that.
You're honored to be in the presence of Dominic. The hell?
I'm here.
If you grew up in the era that I grew up playing football and college football, we're not that much difference in age, but someone who lived the dream of going on to play at Florida State, you respect that. So, again, here for it.
All right. Well, you don't need to pump up Dominic's ego anymore. That's plenty big.
Do you think you're going to get a
He's trying to get into
NCAA back check?
He's trying to get into the draft room.
Yeah, he wants to.
Exactly.
He wants to
It's
draft
Blake
out
out
here.
here.
He wants to shed a cheer with Jake and hug and jump up and down.
Exactly. Like, this is the pre-glazing, so then I can ask Dominic about his negative thoughts about Madison, Wisconsin, because he did trash the city in the past. So, that's just setting it up.
Why'd you trash Madison?
The same reason everybody would.
No, I think we were having a conversation about the Pac-12 going to the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Correct.
One of the times I was on, and I was like, I said something about nobody wants to go to Madison, Wisconsin, or something.
Yeah, I don't think KJ did either.
Yeah.
Life finds a way.
All right, Jake's weekend check.
Okay, so my weekend check is Saturday night. I was without kid. I had the kids most of the day Saturday. One kid all day. One kid maybe 70% of the day. And then I went and met up with our good friends Mike Soroy and Danny Bayless. Now, that's going to require an Uber.
not Danny so much as the first guy.
Well, yeah, but for me, I'm not going to drive to Dallas, and drive back or whatever. So,
Do you bring a toothbrush?
I did not. I came home.
Okay.
I was home on time.
That's right, Uber.
Yeah. And I had to pick the kids up.
That's the difference between having kids.
Yeah, I had to pick the kids up at 8 a.m. So I came home and got up and did my business. But so I was leaving Southlake, the rent house, which is pretty close to where Dan lives now. And I'm not even really paying attention. I was looking at my phone. I think I was texting Danny and Soroy. And my Uber driver, I'll back it up a little bit. When I walked out, he was smoking a cigarette in front of my house, which is always kind of I don't care, but it's a play,
You're setting out
tone.
a different vibe.
Yeah. So I get in the car. It smells like cigarettes, whatever.
KJ on?
Did he go?
Okay. Oh, all right. Sorry. My bad.
So,
I just didn't know.
We're on 114. This is probably 10 minutes into the ride. And he's like, I can't really place the guy's race necessarily. We hadn't really talked, but I could tell that he didn't really speak English. It didn't seem like Spanish to me. But much like the thing that I've told you my brother pointed out about gas stations, sometimes or pretty much every time when you go into gas stations, they're just on the phone the whole time. We've all noticed this, right?
Yeah.
I don't know who you're talking to.
The earpiece?
Huh?
The earpiece?
Sometimes no.
Speakerphone a lot of times.
And so he was on speakerphone and he was talking, and I don't know specifically what language he was speaking or the country of origin of the person he was talking to, but in the middle of that conversation, he's like, "Oh no," and I'm gonna do that the whole time, by the way. So YouTube, get ready. And he pulls over, and I'm like, "What the hell?" And I look in the back, and we've got a Southlake cop car, cop SUV, and the extremely hot cop, of course, who's 26. Like I told you, they all are now, tattooed up.
Oh, dude.
He comes to my side, and he asks for the guy to roll down the driver's or the passenger side front window.
Okay, yeah. You're on 114?
Mm-hmm. And it's pretty clear this guy doesn't understand what's happening. So I rolled down my back window, and the guy's got his flashlight out, and it's not dark. It's 8 o'clock, 8:15 at night, and he, starts talking to the guy, And he's like, hey, open this door, like the front passenger door. And the guy's like, I don't know. So I try to tell him, I'm like, dude, I'll open the door for you. So I open the front door, and the guy like kind of almost gets into the front passenger seat, and he's like, I need your license and registration. Confused. Did not immediately comply. So he gets his wallet out, and he just hands him his wallet.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, whatever you need, like, I'll just hand this to you. And then he's like, okay, I also need your insurance. So he takes out an insurance card from the console, and the guy's like, all right, I'll be back. So he goes back to his car, and at this point, another cop car pulls up. Now, to me, 2 cop cars means somebody's probably going to jail. That's not a one. They tell him that he had sped through a construction zone. They were like, you were going 63, and he's like, speed limit 60. And they were like, yeah, but it's 40 right there. And he's super confused by this. He's like, 60.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, it's 40 right there. And he does not understand this at all. And so they get
speed trap-ish.
For sure. They get him out of the car. And now I'm thinking, all right, 2 police officers, you're out of the car. This dude's going to jail.
And you're, what's your play?
And I was texting Danny and Troy, and I'm like, I don't know what I do.
You're in an Uber.
Yeah. So second cop comes up to my side, backseat, passenger side, and he's got the flashlight on me. So I just rolled down the window, and I was like, hey, dude, I'm just taking an Uber. And he was like, hey, can you get out for a second? So I get out, and they just kind of like rummage through the back seat of this car. They have him like back at their car. And they're like, all right, you can get back in. They didn't check my ID.
Doesn't seem like that's probably legal.
I mean, I just did it just because.
No, but rummaging through the car and all that.
Yeah.
And your gummies kicking in right about now.
I was not impaired, honestly, at this point. Like, I think I had 1 beer before I left, but I was not. But I didn't have.
You don't want to overdo it if you're going.
I also didn't have anything on me. So I was not like super worried about like getting out of the car. So I'm just like, all right, whatever. It is what it is. So I'm going to play you a little bit of audio.
Which is surprising you weren't more lippy.
Because I did start, I told you, I'm a changed man.
Okay.
I did start rolling a little bit so you can hear kind of how this interaction went.
Excuse me, is this one Highlander RAV4?
So right there he says like Highlander RAV4.
Okay.
And those are 2 different cars. So he
wait, that's the cop?
No, that's the guy, and he's driving one of those cars, but his insurance says the other of those cars. Like I think we were in a RAV4.
Yeah, okay.
But he has Highlander insurance.
Is the RAV4? No Highlander.
I know what you're saying. This is just insurance purposes, though. I know this is covered under insurance, but that license plate doesn't return to this car, is what I'm trying to tell you.
What?
So let me give this back to you.
They give him a
Mind
what?
if I open your door? Can I open this?
Now they're getting him out, and obviously he has no idea that he doesn't have to do this. And I thought about being like, bro, you definitely don't have to get out.
Because they're saying, can I do it? Yeah.
This one.
Nope, it's fine. Just leave it closed. We don't have to do, just stay in your vehicle a little longer. Sorry about the wait, sir. We'll get you out of here as soon as possible.
It's all good, man.
Okay.
Oh, he's apologizing to you, not to them.
Yeah. We'll go to clip 2 here. I believe this is when they came back, and I'm still very confused about what happened here because in my mind, this guy's got fake plates, right? You know, we've seen like those.
They're saying the plates don't match the car.
The plates don't match the car or the insurance.
Okay.
And we've heard a million stories like this, you know, in the last year or so that this is like a popular scam.
Yeah.
Back to the correct vehicle. So just give DMV a call. Okay.
Do you understand?
And he'll explain it all to you.
So that's why we were talking to him about his license plate if he doesn't have questions. But
you can hear me there go, he doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Because, like, they're looking at me like, this is the reason why we took him out of the car. And they're like, do you understand? I'm like, he doesn't understand.
Just give him a call. Okay. Do you understand? He'll explain it all to you. So that's why we were talking to him about his license plate if he doesn't have questions.
Narrator.
He just has to yield to traffic stops that are on the side of the road. That was the reason. One more thing. Clean that license plate off.
Yes.
It's dirty.
So
Very dirty.
I have 10.
Okay.
So now they're starting to say that the reason that they had an issue was that his license plate is physically dirty. So the first couple times that they were like, your plate's dirty, I'm like, oh, okay. It's hot.
Ah, okay,
you
yeah.
know, it's illegal. But it doesn't make any sense to me that they would have pulled this guy over.
Like it's got mud.
Just because it has mud on it.
Plate off.
Yes.
It's dirty. Very dirty.
I have 10.
Okay.
10.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much. Don't do it now. Later on, drop your passenger off and then clean it off. Okay.
Okay.
Here you go, sir.
چی میگم؟
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
Appreciate you, brother.
نه خلاص چی میگم آقا؟
And now he's been on the phone with another person.
He's still talking?
Yeah, the whole time.
Oh, they were?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Play that back, because what's he saying? What language?
I don't know. I mean.
چی میگم؟
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.
Appreciate you, brother.
نه خلاص چی میگم آقا؟
Okay.
That's not Spanish, yeah.
No, it's not Spanish. Now.
So they let him go?
They wrote him a ticket.
Oh, he got a speeding ticket?
Yes.
Oh, man.
But they didn't write him a ticket for any sort of like registration or plates violation. But they did write him a ticket.
I wonder if they let him go if you're not in the car.
That's honestly like
they know
when
he
I
needs...
tweeted about this, a couple people were like, they just didn't want to mess with having to deal with you. Like, do they have to take you somewhere? Do you have to call an Uber from the side of 114? Dude, we are in.
That's your white privilege. They knew that it would inconvenience you, the white man.
We are.
Although you look a little, you could be some other
What is
stuff
that?
too. I don't know. I'm just saying. If you just said you had something else in you, everybody'd be like, yeah, okay.
Fair. But we are like there are cars whizzing past us. Like we are in it's not a suburban street. We did not pull off onto somewhere else. So that might have been part of their thought too. But again, to me, two cops, they get the guy out of the car. They had him out of the car for probably 20 minutes. I'm thinking, what happens next? Like they got him out.
Yeah.
So I tried to do a little post game with him.
Oh.
You know what happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
What?
Was it a registration thing or what?
No, it's the license plate is no clean. You clean is the...
It wasn't clean?
Yeah.
Like it was just dirty?
Yeah.
Okay. That was it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty much it.
No chance.
That's what I'm saying.
No chance.
That's what I'm saying. And then he dropped me off when I met up with Danny and Sroy, and he was just like, sorry.
Did you give him a nice tip to help pay for that?
I did. Oh, and there one other funny part, because I wasn't rolling at this point. When they got me out, second cop, also hot, also tattooed. I was like, man, I hope this doesn't impact my rider rating.
Funny.
And he was like, what does that mean?
Oh, get a sense of humor.
He didn't find that funny at all. So yeah, that's what happened to me on Saturday night. It added a good 45 minutes to my drive. Yeah, then I had a good time with Roy and Danny, but they were like, where were you? I'm like, man, you don't want to know.
Yeah, I feel so bad for that dude, the driver.
To be honest with you, I thought, based on the way things were going, I thought he might have been like illegal. And I don't know what that looks like, but either a stolen car or, something did not seem like it was on the up and up. And he spoke 5% of English.
Yeah.
So he had no clue what they were saying to him. So the next time an Uber
That's why I
driver
feel
pulls
bad
up to
for
your
him, yeah.
house with a cigarette like half sawed off in front of your house, just know things might take a turn.
KJ, how do you feel if this was you or I sitting in the back seat? How would that have gone? Very similar?
Well, I can tell you about the one and only time I've been in a jail in Dallas-Fort Worth was pretty similar. It was like, hey, these license plates don't go to this car. And I'm like, I bought the car yesterday. I don't know what to tell you. And they're like, yeah, well, tell it to Highland Park police officer. I'm like, okay. So, yeah, would not go the same.
You didn't drink with Soror that night?
No, you didn't get to go. No, but you have told me that breakfast there, pretty solid.
They did, Bubba's. If you're familiar with Bubba's, right off the SMU campus, they hit you up with they give you a phone. And they're like, call anybody. Or take it back to your cell. They leave the door open. What's your order? It was top tier breakfast.
Wow.
So shout out to, I guess it'd be University
So
Park.
the pluses and minuses of driving through Highland Park while black.
Exactly. Free stay and a cinnamon roll in the morning. The amount of resolve in the guy's voice when he was just like, yeah, it's just my license plate was dirty was pretty sad.
Yeah.
He's like, yep, that's it. What else you know?
Yeah. People get pulled over for that all the time.
Yeah, I'm like, why did they get this guy out of the car if he just had mud on his license?
No chance.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's so they could check the car.
Yeah, and
like they did.
And they did, and they pulled, and they opened up like his glove compartment.
Where were you exactly? Because it doesn't sound like Southlake. If you started heading towards Dallas, you would be out of Southlake in about half a second.
Well, from where we are, like I'm leaving from Kimball, and it wasn't long.
Okay.
I might have said 10 minutes, but it was less than 5 minutes.
Okay.
It was right there. It was like right at Northwest Highway.
Movie theater.
Basically, yes. Like right there.
Okay.
And then they
wow.
They pulled him over. I don't know. Like I don't know what the normal I don't know what would have happened if they would have arrested him.
You would have been sitting there and they would have called a cab, or they would have driven you to, off the highway.
So now I have to get in a cop car?
What if you showed up in a Southlake police car?
See, they were looking for a reason to arrest him, and they actually just couldn't find one.
It felt like that.
Yeah.
But they would have checked your pockets like before they put you in the back.
He
but
was
they would
being
have
very
given you a ride
cool.
probably
All
off
they
the
could
highway.
find is a dirty license. They couldn't find anything in the car. They couldn't arrest. What would they have arrested?
I was this close to bringing a vape.
And workers aren't present. Isn't there like a whole this is the speed limit, or I guess it's the fine will double if people are present. But
I don't
this
even know
time
where
of
you're
day and
talking.
weekend,
I'm trying to think of where there's not major construction over there.
It's not even
maybe a
major
couple
construction.
cones.
I think it's just like they put up the sign at night on the weekend because anything that they do, that's when they do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But no one was out doing stuff.
I never felt like anyone was at risk.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. But yeah, shout out to my dude.
All right.
I guess he made it.
Well, I'm sorry, Dan. We may have to add this to the community list. Maybe not as diverse as we were going to hope for earlier, but maybe just as oppressive as one might imagine. So you add this to the landscaper list, and a lot of knocks against Southlake right now.
All right. Well, what are you going to do?
From the wonderful world of sports, Radio Sports Scoreboard.
Let me look at the one of my 2 run sheets.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I have 3, but I'm kind of trying to phase this one out. We do have a variety of sports that we can get into.
Oh, my bad.
What do you want to start with? Because I think the Cowboys cheerleader thing, maybe we'll save that for after the break, because that's a little meatier.
Okay.
A little longer.
As it were.
I am interested in a couple of things that we were following on Friday, kind of were big over the weekend. One, of course, was Hawk to a Girl.
Yeah.
And so, yes, it's songs, it's memes, it's a lot of fun with Hawk to a Girl. Did you see the Bryce Harper celebration? He hit an extra base hit.
I did.
And had a celebration. He kind of did a little Hawk to a.
Yeah, I don't want to believe that that's actually what he's doing, but it's pretty clear that it is.
It's pretty clear on the very night
Yeah.
that Hawk Tua breaks.
And it's funny, too, because he's always been like guy who sort of feigns religiousness.
Has he really? I've never.
Yeah, like remember whenever he got asked if he could buy a beer? That's where It's a Clown Question, bro, came from.
Mm.
And they're like, oh, you're in Canada.
Oh, okay. Was he like straight edge?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he also does stuff like this all the time. And I always find it funny, athletes that can kind of play both parts of that. I guess Dion's kind of one of those guys.
Dion's a bit of that guy because Dion is the one who, or Primetime is the one who is nailing all those chicks. Dion.
That wasn't Dion.
Has kids and
yeah. And I think
family.
Playmaker gets away with this a little bit.
He never leaned too hard into it, but he has played the card.
Yeah.
But I've always respected him for not Darryl Strawberrying his way out of things. He kind of just he doesn't really play the God card too much.
No.
But
he will tell you that you need to learn how to talk to athletes.
He's dipped his well, that's Darryl Strawberry.
Yes.
He has played the card. I'm saying Michael Irvin.
I know what you mean. That I just want to bring back up one of my favorite moments of your career.
Don't talk bad about Dion with Dominic, though.
I'm not talking bad about him. I'm just saying he has been able to play sort of both sides of the bit.
Since you wanted to be the next Dion, did you also develop a personality that wasn't Dominic?
Yeah, I would say. Yeah.
Like
I went
kind of an asshole?
Yeah, I went pretty far. I wouldn't, no, not asshole, but I leaned in. I mean, I read Dion's book. I would record on VHS the games, and I would watch how he came onto the field, how he talked to refs or umps in the baseball games. I would watch anything and read anything that I could. I carried around the cereal box, the Wheaties cereal box that he was on.
Carried it around?
When I was in 7th grade. Yeah, 7th grade flag football. During that whole season, I carried that Wheaties box to school every day.
Do-rag?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, Jake talked about that. Yeah.
I mean,
we all were doing that. Everybody was doing that. But I doubled down. I mean, I tripled down. I tried to do everything. All that. Yeah. Come on, of course. Yeah. Yeah.
I was high
as a kid, everybody I knew as a kid would shoot with their tongue hanging out like Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
When did you start contact?
Not until my freshman year.
Okay.
So I was playing flag. Yeah, I was copying him in flag, and then once I went to tackle football or freshman year football, I was full. I mean, you couldn't tell the difference where the line ended between
same number.
Him, number, everything, do-rag tied in the back, hanging out. Like I would socks exactly where.
What was
his
your nickname
socks
that you gave
were.
yourself?
Primetime 2.
Yeah, he told us that the other day.
Well,
Primetime 2. I still have
not very creative.
So the recruiting coordinator at Florida State, John Lilly, who's in the NFL now, when I talk to him, he still, he texts me, he recruited Deuce, of course. Any conversations we have, he refers to me as Prime. He still refers to me as Prime. He's never called me Dominic once. My buddy, my best friend from college, he calls me PT2. That's awesome. And it's cringeworthy to me now. I talk about it like it's nothing, but some of the things I did and said, I'm just like, oh, it's super cringe. Like really, really makes me uncomfortable. It was bad.
Did you ever try to direct Deuce to Florida State?
No. I didn't. I mean, I wanted him to go there bad. Yeah, absolutely. Wanted him to play there. But I wanted him to – I love Florida State more than anything. I mean, I'm a huge I was a fan before I was an alumni, So I want him to feel about his school the way that I feel about mine. And so I knew that would only happen organically. It happened for me organically. I watched the color. I watched the way they played. I loved the colors. I loved the coaches. I loved everything about what they were doing. So I was in love with that more than just trying to win a national championship or anything. I was a fan first. So I wanted him to experience that, that true love where it's just like, man, I know for sure if I never played at Florida State, I still would have loved the fact that I chose to go there for college. You know, I wanted him to have that feel. So no, I never pushed him in that direction.
So on Friday we talked to a girl, and we talked about the. I was reading from you that article on the Yahoo Sports breakdown.
The LeBron thing, yeah.
Of Michael Jordan's
The Jordan thing.
Defensive Player of the Year award, and how it's called into question at least now, 30-some years later.
Yeah.
So that really lit fire over the weekend.
I saw.
Yeah.
Being called a disingenuous hit piece.
I love hit piece.
That basically it's all clutch sports and LeBron's machine.
Yeah.
That is putting this together, and it's really funny. I don't know if this is all true, and I'm kind of oblivious to it. Because like they say about politics, you know, if Biden gives a speech tonight, they will already have the Republican response written before the speech.
Yeah.
Like they know it's not real. You know, it's not a real reaction. It's we're just going to rip whatever is said. And are there really LeBron mouthpieces that are just carrying the water for LeBron? Like, does Clutch Sports pay people? Do they call people? Do they put a bug in someone's ear that, hey, you should write this, and we, you know, like that's what's being alleged here.
I don't know that they pay people, but certainly the agent game works in this way, right?
What do you mean?
If you want sources and if you want information, then your outlet will write this, and that will curry favor with our agency.
So just maybe it's people that have actually always had a good relationship with them, and
that's
I
how you keep
that
it good.
relationship. So So is it kind of like if you're, let's say it's an intern Rachel and her husband, because I know they talk to each other on social media. Like, sometimes people want, hey, I know they saw this. We've talked about this with, you know, a tragedy or somebody that dies or somebody, our coworkers we see will jump on and like, or somebody somebody famous passes away. And it's like, hey, I'm very sorry or something, you know, but we won't. And then you almost
we look like jerks.
Yeah, you feel peer pressured into, I got to comment on this too.
Mm-hmm.
So is it like that? Like, hey, I saw this out there about Jordan. I need to retweet this because I just know Clutch will see that I retweeted this, and that will not hurt me in the future when I'm asking for an interview.
Yes, I think that's exactly what's happening.
Because now there are – so whether it's just people or fans or I don't know the influence that Jordan has with today's media, but there's a ton of people jumping out now like, hey, look at this LeBron video. Oh, you couldn't get away with this in today's day? Okay, let's look at these assists that LeBron had or these whatever.
Strip him of a triple-double.
Yeah.
Saw that one over the weekend, yeah. I don't know. I think it's so silly, and I'm not that interested in these sorts of debates. It's kind of like the Hall of Fame with me. I just like watching sports. Like it's just not that interesting to me to be like, hey, you know, can we fight about who was better? Or I don't know. It doesn't fire me up as much as it seems like it does a lot of other people. And especially whenever you have to make it like statistically based. Statistics have changed over time. So basing it entirely on that, it's just not that interesting to me. You know? Give it to Rathman.
Yeah.
Jerry Rice
could
have played in one of those slinging around offenses.
Just because we live in this world of media.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting like in the sense of that people fighting about it is interesting. The essential argument of it is not that interesting to me.
Like I was reading something or maybe watching a video that was claiming that the Rookie of the Year award was robbed from Carmelo Anthony because the LeBron story needed Rookie of the Year.
I have heard that before.
I guess I need to go break down the numbers myself to.
But why?
I don't know. Because I want Clutch to like me.
They're not going to sign you, dude.
They might sign me.
I feel like it's unlikely.
Come on, what if Clutch signed us?
Well, they would only sign
I said
him.
me.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh,
Yeah, you're sitting here ripping LeBron.
No, I love LeBron.
Okay, say it over and over.
LeBron, please sign us.
And then I did also enjoy over the weekend the just the JJ Redick hire is getting ridiculed.
That graphic is pretty funny.
It's hilarious.
Is it the graphic that shows his career coaching history?
Yeah.
Yes.
It kind of says like whatever academy, volunteer 4th grade boys head coach.
Yep.
2022, 2023.
Did him pretty dirty there.
And then 2023, 2024, head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, one of the most storied franchises in NBA history.
Volunteer 4th grade.
So is he? I was thinking about
Are
this.
you a Lakers fan?
I am.
Okay,
Yeah.
I figured so.
Yeah, it's my strongest tie to any team is the Lakers.
Is he Pat Riley? Because Pat Riley was brought out of the booth.
No.
I mean, maybe.
No.
In the end,
Maybe,
will we
but-
write this story that he's Pat Riley? The Pat Riley thing that's different is Pat Riley was the team's play-by-play guy or color analyst, but then he was hired as an assistant, and he was an assistant on the bench for 2 years. How important is that? I don't know. Nowadays, I don't know. I would have said that's very important in the past.
Yeah.
You got to have some of that.
I would have said that is light in the past. Just 2 years as an assistant on the bench after coming out of the bench?
At least being an
Or out of the
assistant
booth?
somewhere to where you are viewed as a figure of authority.
Yeah.
Because how is he viewed by, I guess, anybody except LeBron on that team?
There's the graphic.
You know, how is he viewed by, is he viewed with any authority? Or is he viewed as this guy who I didn't like as a player and he just did a podcast? And he just slurps on LeBron, and now he's coming in to be our coach?
It's kind of weird, too, because you alluded to it there. He was not liked as a college player. I mean, anybody who goes to Duke and is white and plays in this style and fashion that he did, he was a very annoying player. I grew to love him over the years just because it seemed like he was kind of on the leading edge of changing the game based on the way that he played. But, like, people liked Steve Nash. Steve Nash was a liked player, and no one respected him as a head coach.
To me, it feels more like an NFL thing, like a young analytical guy, like a McVay or Mike McDaniel, who's just young and innovative.
Yeah,
and you're
but
trying
dude,
to.
those guys grinded. Mike McDaniel was the coach, was the run game coordinator for the Washington football team, and McVay was, a 7-8 year assistant.
No, I'm with you, but just the young analytical hire.
Yeah,
where you're trying to get younger at the position, and you're not trying to hire the mold of an older coach that's been around forever.
It's definitely that, but he doesn't have the backstory that like the McVay tree does. Those guys all grinded hard.
It's way different, and football is way different.
True, unless you're Jeff Saturday.
Unless you're Jeff Saturday, but you see that didn't last very long.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is difficult, man. The art of coaching is way, way more complex and difficult than I know the game. Like, he knows the game, and he communicates the game really well, which gives him a leg up as a coach, but it doesn't make him a good coach. And if you've never coached and you're put in that position, like, that's a tough place to kind of grit your teeth and figure it out.
Yeah.
Coach of the Lakers.
You are the Lakers.
You've never coached before? Like, coaching it's very difficult and complex. A lot of it is not just knowing, and it's not just communicating. It's knowing when to communicate, who to communicate with, and then how to communicate with that person. And if you've only played, and that's why a lot of players don't coach really well, because if you've only played, you've only communicated in your way, the way that was effective for you as a player. And that only matters a certain small percentage of time. As a coach, you're literally on the, chopping block 100% of the time. Every word you say is and can be detrimental to the greater good of the whole team, or in this case, the whole franchise.
Potentially affecting someone.
Exactly.
Anything you do.
And you're, as a player, you're not used to that. You're used to, hey, man,
the way I treat this guy could affect these other guys, and you're not even thinking about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why this hire is just so
and you
crazy.
have to be able to handle your assistants because they now have to listen to you. You have to delegate the authority there.
So many staff members, and there's so many other things that if you've never done it before, it's a lot. It's very, very, like I said, it's complex.
And Spo did a great job at this, but they tried to get him fired.
Yeah, I was going to ask.
And just having LeBron be the guy in your first job has got to be so difficult. Even if you've done a podcast, even if he respects your X's and O's, it's LeBron.
Did Spo go from video guy to, was he an assistant? Was he on a bench?
I'm pretty sure he'd been on a bench before.
Okay, he didn't go video guy to head coach.
No.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure.
But he started, you're right. He started
was an
as
assistant for a long
the video
time.
coach.
Yeah.
Like Kelly Forbes.
Not that
video
different.
coach, but
But
to deal with LeBron in your first job,
40-year-old LeBron in your
crazy,
first
man.
job is just
that's crazy.
I mean, obviously, already knowing him
that
has
helps.
to help. But LeBron has never respected any coach that he's been given. So why is that going to change now? I would think he'd even respect JJ less.
Mm-hmm.
Not less than Mike Brown, probably.
That would be tough.
When he first got hired, because
That
he
would
didn't
be
know
tough.
who he was. At least he probably had a hand in this hire.
Yeah.
Which kind of means
It buys you a
JJ
couple
knows,
months.
don't mess with me. You're coaching the rest of the team.
Yeah. And I mean, they have a couple of decent pieces, but, I don't know what Anthony Davis has left.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is it's not a good
It's
team.
not a good team.
That's the bigger problem. Is he's taking a job where he's going to have attention as if he's on coaching the best team, but they're not the best team.
Can't LeBron theoretically opt out this year?
Yeah.
Or is he locked in?
I think he already has.
Yeah.
He already has, so he can sign somewhere else, possibly?
Yes.
Or force a sign and trade?
I don't think it would even have to be a sign and trade.
No, he could just
If he
straight
wants
opt out.
maxed out.
Well, yeah, but I'm pretty sure, he could just sign with anybody right now.
He could sign with Dallas right now.
So Josh Green.
All right, you're looking for it?
Hardaway.
You got to throw in Hardaway for the money.
We're going to have to keep a pick to draft Bronny.
Yeah, we can't deal our second.
I think it's interesting. The whole media to coaching thing it's never at least in my experience, it's never been like this before. It's interesting.
Quick addition on.
Are you
last
still
night's
here?
business.
Wow, KJ.
I asked Dan. Just
What the
present.
hell is going
I
on?
knew it was going to be off the guard. He's been over here just deep diving basketball stats.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Quick
Do
addition
you
on
have
last time this
something?
happened. Oh, yeah, I've got something. Here you go. Jason Kidd did this. Obviously, he wasn't coming off of a podcast, but I felt like that was relevant. Was the last player to coach without prior experience was Kidd. Other than that, it was like in the 60s and 70s with Paul Silas and Dunleavy Sr. But on Kidd's team that year, you had Kevin Garnett, you had Paul Pierce, and Mason Plumlee, Jason Terry, as far as like personalities you're having to deal with. None of those are LeBron, but, it's worth considering.
Well, you're leaving out Nash.
Right, who was dealing
I'm
with...
saying as far as last person to do this, I shouldn't say last person you didn't mention. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, Kid, and we all thought the Kid hire was weird.
And it didn't work out well, right?
No.
And the Steve Nash thing didn't work out well.
I don't know that you
Like,
can
let's
say
try it again.
Kid hire didn't work out well.
In
For the
Brooklyn?
Nets?
Are you talking about in Brooklyn or
Yeah.
in
But not
Milwaukee?
with the
Okay,
Nets,
yeah,
no.
yeah.
Brooklyn or Milwaukee, it didn't work out well.
I was just going to say in Milwaukee, they did kind of develop Giannis into a thing. Brooklyn was a disaster, yes, for sure. But
44 and 38. So, it didn't work out overall, but, winning record, whatever that counts for in the East.
hey, thanks for popping back up, man.
Hey, I asked Dan directly, you want me to stick around or not? And he's like, I'll just keep doing my show.
Yeah, I mean, just hang out. You can hang out all you want.
Okay.
In a zone?
Maybe we'll call it the hang zone, the place where you hang out on the phone, but you don't say a lot.
Let me go look for some let me go figure out where I can hear Norman D or something. I don't know. Thank you, fellas.
All right, thanks,
Bye,
man.
KJ.
Yeah,
See you soon.
we'll go ahead and hit a break, and then we'll do the Cowboys cheerleader stuff. How about that, boys?
That's
The Dumb Zone.
You're listening to The Dumb Zone.
Huck to it.
It's 1:24. That's for those that are involved in our live broadcast today. But I think most people will be involved in the recorded version. Is that what you tend to believe, Blake?
Yeah, probably. I think so.
puppet.
But a nice response to the live shows.
And define what that means.
I don't know. We had like 3,000 viewers last time. We're doing pretty well today too.
That's okay. I mean, they might hate us though.
It's better than
you're saying. It's a nice
6.
response.
Yeah.
Technically better than 6. Yep, he's right about that.
Hey everybody, it's time to answer some of today's viewer mail.
I have some viewer mail and some actual mail, snail mail. Did we ever open that one from the other day? Like, did I? You got something back there that was actually delivered to my house. I don't know if we want to do that today. I don't even remember what it is. Do you? You don't want to do it now?
It's Big Scissors.
Oh,
dude.
You want to say who it's from or anything, or?
Yeah, I mean,
somebody sent us.
I feel like we have a couple pair of Big Scissors.
We have a pair of Big Scissors. I'm sorry for somebody who sent that to us.
Yep.
You really fake it.
Hold them up. Okay. Show the people.
I will.
Because the other pair is in the den. So maybe these will be the Big Scissors for the studio.
Home away from home.
Yeah.
Big pair of scissors, yeah.
And then we'll get one for our road kit.
Yeah.
Like when we're out on a remote.
Have them all the time. Yep.
Yeah. Did they work?
I don't know.
Cut that.
Cut the box.
Okay.
Cut your wrist.
I was going to say, I'll try to cut your head off or something if you want.
Boy, those are big, man. And they are sharp. Look, it's cutting them.
Yeah, they work.
I got something, and it looks like it's from the son of my fat doctor, who's really normal sized.
Whose name is AJ.
Yeah.
He's a nice person.
Yep. Really nice guy.
Well, this was mailed to, it says it's from Austin Shorn.
Yeah.
That's what tipped me off, because my doctor is Shorn. And this was sent to my house, and it says 2 clam chasers.
That is so Uncle Hotmail.
I hadn't even thought of that one.
I'm sure we'll be hearing it again.
Being a clam chaser. But yeah, he sent a couple things. These are kind of
Scrolls.
Yeah.
Are they from the Dead Sea?
Well, there's a note in there. Do you want to read the note? And I'll hold the thing up?
Whatever. I don't.
All right, you can read.
I don't think you can. Okay, that one actually was a pretty solid.
Who's it? What does it say on the outside?
It says the Gash Guzzler.
Doesn't even make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Can't guzzle gash.
Doesn't make any sense.
Have you tried?
So this, I'll show the picture while you read whatever he wrote.
Yeah, it's on a very official type of paper. Please enjoy these canvases showcasing you boys as the work of art that you truly are. These classic paintings will help demonstrate that this is not only a podcast of leisure, but of high art. As Dan knows, you'll find these paintings in the Louvre.
Oh, really?
Yeah. The first piece is, of course, Liberty leading the people.
Look at Jake.
Commemorating the July Revolution of 1830, which toppled King Charles X. That's 10th, Dan. It says X.
Yeah.
Okay.
Twitter.
Similarly, our DZ heroes made a heroic exit in July of 2023 and conquered their oppressor. The second piece, Gabrielle de Estris and her sister, needs little explanation, of course. Dan and Jake share a warm bath, supple breasts exposed. Jake affectionately toggles Dan's nipple, while Blake watches from the next room with a look of both pleasure and yearning. Your humble student.
Yeah, I am.
AJ Shorn. P.S. I didn't mount or frame these because I didn't want to presume how and where they might be used. Happy to do so if you'd like. Blake has got my email and stuff.
All right. Thanks, AJ.
Look, he opened up the envelope like a normal person for us.
Once.
Didn't tear it open?
Tear it in half.
Didn't go full chimp.
I'm reading this on the correct day now.
Okay.
I started this like 3 weeks ago, if you recall. It says, hello, sir. This is Jason Moritz. Day 204 subby number 6834. I wanted to send a shout-out to my daughter, birthday shout-out to my daughter, Casey. She's celebrating her Roberto Clemente birthday on June 24th. That's today, remember? 6/24/24?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
At 1:30 p.m.? Mm-hmm. You remember her, of course, as being the goaltender for you, Jake, and Bob during the Tyler Sagan Hockey Challenge. This past year at Endicott College, she earned a starting position as a sophomore. She went 16-5-2 with a 1.41 goals against average and a 9.42 save percentage, and 5 times won Goalie of the Week for her conference. He also wanted you to do the reaction video on the Eminem video Houdini, which I think you've already done a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's from Jason. He's the guy, and now Jason has made he's an amateur video. He made our video stinger for the end of the show and interstitial, I guess it is. But he's done a lot of new stuff as well. Did he make the Jake News open? Yeah. Okay. We'll get to that later during Jake's News. Mr. Dan, Monday is my wife Tina's birthday. We've been married 20 years, and I love her dearly. I don't plan on waking her up in that special way. Why? Because she's 50.
What's wrong with that?
He said, although I've never tried 50-year-old beaver, maybe I'll change my mind.
Dominic liked that one.
This is from Eric. Hopefully not soon to be divorced after she hears this in Wiley.
Hey.
Mr. Dan, yesterday on June 23rd was my best friend Seth's birthday. Yesterday, he's a Vikings fan, so it was his C.J. Ham birthday from Z.
30?
Don't know it.
Tio Correo Caliente. Is it gay or not gay for a grown man to send his birthday in for 3 other grown men to read on a podcast saying it's your Andy Reid punt, pass, and kick birthday? I'll hang up and listen. That's from Jack Slaydeck. That sounds gay.
Whoa.
Uncle Hotmail. As you see, I'm using the far superior electronic mail platform, Hotmail, which allows you to create what they call folders, where you can easily organize your messages.
Yep. This is quite the advancement.
I left some fat scratch in the DumbZone Venmo tip jar for the shout-out. I wanted to wish a happy birthday to my very best buddy, Scott Harper. He retired at age 51.
Dang.
He now travels around the country living in his converted van that he built out himself. You guys were talking about Sprinter vans.
Mm-hmm.
He is now a professional wanderer. He travels with his partner, Melissa, who has her own van. Scene control.
We got a double van sitch?
While he's hiking and seeing some of the country's most beautiful sights, he's downloading DZ Sods and listening on the trail. His leader is the way Jake says okay while he's listening. From DF Ryan.
Okay. I'll give you what you want.
Fuck it.
Whoa.
All right, Beth.
I wouldn't say that.
Hi, Bracket Dan. I want to wish my wife, Ricky, happy 30th.
Ricky.
We're going to L.A. next week. I would like to hear Jake's Trail of Tears for L.A. We will check out the Viper Room from Jeremy, day 2.
You know, I don't have a ton of experience out there.
Jeremy.
Miami is the one where I really went big, but I mean, the best I could do for you was the TMZ tour, which, if you want to be made fun of relentlessly by all of your friends for months on end, book that one. But
I loved it. I'll go again.
You were asleep halfway through it.
I was recording
I have
the whole
a
thing.
photo of you.
Well, I may have been asleep.
Asleep.
Antio Correo Caliente. Happy birthday to Zach Rutledge, former owner of the Infliction Club in Hearst. He has also cried at an Eric Church concert from Brett.
What is this also?
I don't know. I thought maybe he was saying that you did.
I did not.
I know you've cried and you go to concerts, but I don't know if
and
they've
I've
all...
cried at concerts, but I don't even really know who Eric Church is. My dad definitely does, though.
Who, Eric Church?
Yeah. I feel like he's told me about a weekend at an Eric Church concert before.
I also got this from Jeremy.
Jeremy.
There you go.
Who is
Jeremy.
more Hawk Tua.
Okay.
He said, I think this could be the new wings for P-Bit.
Mm-hmm. I had this also.
So he, he recorded something with his wife, so I'll play it for you.
Can I get some hot Tua tonight?
What?
Hot Tua?
If you take me to dinner.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go shower right now.
All right, he says...
That's all it took?
That's easy?
He said all it took was a dinner at Abuelo's.
I got in a fight there once.
At Abuelo's?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah, this is going to take a minute, but I'll tell you.
I'm here for it.
Yeah. So when I was like in probably 5th grade, a guy tried to steal my brother's bike, who was a year or two younger than me. My brother was in 2nd grade. And I caught him, you know. So at this point, I'm 10, he's 7. And I was like, hey, fuck's up. Trying to steal his bike. And he, from there on, we had beef. We had multiple arguments at our youth association where we played baseball and football. And then in high school, at one point, he threw a tennis ball at me, and it was a phenomenal throw in the hallway. Yeah,
we've heard about this.
Yeah, hit me in the head. And then when I was probably a freshman in college, I went to that same Abuelo's in HEB, where this man took
Laid
his
the groundwork
significant
for Hawk
other
Tua.
to get Hawk Tua. And we just both saw each other and got up and walked outside, and that was it.
It's just understood.
Mm-hmm. He was there with his parents, or at least one parent and a sibling, and I was there with my girlfriend, and it was just like, we both know what's up. That's it. And I beat the brakes off of him, Dan.
Well, he was 7.
Time had progressed.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Anyway,
but that's what I think of when I think of Abuelos.
Of beating up a 7-year-old.
Yep.
At least one more little thread. Getting a lot of response on Chisholm Trail.
Yeah.
Of course, we've got the sign. Somebody sent us the sign. It was very nice of them. Did you know the sign was there, Dominic?
I didn't. I'm aware now. It's right above my head is the old Chisholm sign.
Well, you know I've long been fascinated by Chisholm Trail. And Jeff sent us, he says, a potential Dumb Zone White House. He sent us a listing. Rob, we have a picture of this. He thinks a whole estate of Chisholm could be a good place to record sods.
Mm-hmm.
We're using sods now.
It's
apparently.
taking off. Yeah.
Yeah. So for only $325,000, 3 beds, 2 bath. Place in Hearst. It's a serene oasis in Chisholm Park Estates. So there you go.
Is this like our Donald Draper house, like before your house in the city, before you go home?
Yeah.
That'd be great, yeah.
Stop by there.
I don't know that there are really any serene oases in Hearst, but
Yeah.
sure.
Feels like it was written by AI.
Yeah.
And then Tim, because we were talking Chisholm Trail, as we will do, like last week. And he says, hey, dumb Fs. There's not another Chisholm Trail in Kansas. Somebody said, hey, we have a Chisholm Trail up here. He says, there's one Chisholm Trail. It runs from San Antonio to Kansas. There's not multiple Chisholm Trails. There were no railroads connecting Texas to the rest of the country, so these trails were established to get cattle to the closest train station. I respect this, or I expect this from, it's the handle of a pan, Dan. But native Texans Jake, Blake, and Danny should be ashamed of themselves. That's from day 2, Tim.
To be honest, I almost used these scissors to slit my wrist. I was so ashamed. No. Who knows that?
Tim?
Tim?
Yeah.
That's a good point. I'm going to play one thing, Video Man. It's the Trump thing that's not Hawk Tua. And I just wanted Dan to react to this, the video. This is from the group chat, viewer mail, Today in Twitter, whatever you want to call it. It's a Trump video.
Thank you. These are my people. Mr. Trump.
Signing autographs.
These people built America. Mr. Trump.
He's the president. Can you sign my back?
President Trump.
So
How does he hold a pen?
Yeah, what I want
the way you're looking at?
What I want to do is I want to play that again, and I want you to pause it, Video Man, when it starts, so I can point out a member of the crowd in their T-shirt.
Okay.
As Trump says, these are the people who built America. Just take a look at this.
Thank you. These are my
Pause it. There's a gentleman a little bit above Trump who has a shirt on that says, "Who shit my pants?"
What the hell?
So he's
There you go.
What is that all about?
I have no idea what it's about, but he's telling this crowd of people, these are the people who built America. You know, these are my people. These are my voters.
Oh, okay. It's a Biden shirt.
Oh, okay.
It's got a little picture of Biden.
You know what? I didn't even see that
that makes sense.
The first time through, but still.
Yeah. He's going to wear a T-shirt that's making fun of Biden.
Yeah, okay, but still. Like, having the guy who's probably going to be president next and was president before.
And I'm going to wear this
I'm going to wear
to
the
go
shirt
meet
that
him.
says, "Who shit my
Yeah.
pants?"
They're all holding up their phones. That's awesome.
I was laughing very hard at that this morning. Like, yeah, I guess, man. You're going to go meet the president and wear that. Like, did anybody wear that when they went to meet FDR?
No, I think things are way different in this day and age, but I'm not sure. I'm not positive.
We went around.
All right, so definitely want to talk about the Cowboys cheerleader documentary. On Thursday, we're going to do another video show, and Sarah Hepela will join us because she's kind of like a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader expert. In fact, I have a piece of audio that'll prove it. She was in the first episode of it's called America's Sweethearts.
I'm not sure that it gets made without her podcast.
You think?
Like, you've seen that happen before, right? Where somebody does a podcast or somebody does like a long article about something and then it turns into, like, I call to mind the McDonald's Monopoly robbery thing. There was like a long article about it and then somebody's like, holy hell, we can make this into a documentary.
Yeah, that's a good point. Although the Cowboys are very media savvy, and if
that's true,
they've done reality shows before on the Making the Squad, Cowboy Cheerleaders, kind of their Hard Knocks, I guess, and then this one I got and they're in bed with the Jerry documentary on Netflix right now, so maybe it was all in conjunction, but
Didn't
Who
they
knows?
have a document or a show where a guy made the 53?
Oh, the Cowboys, yeah, for sure.
Cowboys? Didn't
Yeah.
they have a show where a guy...
He had a read.
He made training camp.
He blocked Jake on Twitter.
Not
He actually ended up making the practice squad and then got on the 53.
Jesse Holly.
Yeah,
He's a good friend of mine now.
yeah. Let's get him in here.
He'll do it. He's a friend.
Call him now. Text him.
It's mostly
See if he can get here by the end of the show.
mostly DM, but
So you saw episode 1.
I did.
Did anything stand out that you want to talk about?
Well-
but I wanted to say, Thursday we'll probably get into even more of this. So I don't know if you guys can watch them all by then, but
I will. I definitely will. So I didn't watch the CMT show, so I don't know how different this is from that. But CMT used to run. I think they said they started in like 2006.
Yeah. Is that the making the squad thing?
Yeah, yeah. And I remember not being that interested in that show at the time.
For sure.
But this is like really, really compelling to me. And it's gross. And I'm conflicted about it.
Why?
I don't know. It's kind of like what you were talking about with the white landscaper. I don't want to tell women how they should talk to other women, but it makes me uncomfortable watching women be so mean to other women.
Like it's fine to have a coach scream at you,
Yeah. I'm just used to
but not to have a woman scream at a woman.
Or like have a woman say like, "Oh, she's fine, but we got to change her hair. She's fine, but she needs a full makeover." Or she's gross. I don't know. It just makes me so uncomfortable. And there's a lot of that. Like a whole lot of that in the first episode.
Yeah. I'm trying to keep everything within episode 1 here because I watched first 3.
The fact that we've always heard how underpaid they are, which, they take a shot at like Gen Z and millennials of, they don't want to do anything that's not for money.
You want to get right into that?
Yeah,
Because
for
that's my big piece of audio. It's like a 2-minute clip.
Okay.
And let's stop and start it though. Because, yeah, so they're originally talking here about Kelly Finglass. Or is it Fineglass? She is the
Finglass.
director.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think it's Finglass, yeah.
Finglass. She's the director. She was a cheerleader in 1988 and kind of like the Hooters manager. Used to be a Hooters girl. It's kind of the same thing. And I would even think it would be hard to be this cheerleading director without, and this must be what players think if they see
Ken Hitchcock.
a coach who never played. Yeah. Like, how much respect do you got for a guy who never played anything? I know you've always wondered, how do the San Diego Padres, deal with Mike Schilt, who never played minor league baseball at all?
We talk about that a lot.
All the time. Yeah, that's pre-show every day.
But, she's been in the cut. She's made the team. She's had to be out on the field. She was a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. So I think that has to carry a lot of, more respect when she is telling them why they did or didn't do something.
But hold on real quick. Is it because we've been talking about this a lot, like over the past week, 10 days. Is there a deal where it's different than it is with athletes where is there like a Rick Carlisle cheerleader? Is there a grinder who could teach it better than somebody who was like a superstar? Or is it just...
See, I don't know. And I don't know if she was a superstar. And I was having trouble with that in my head, too, because when we talk about money and you talk about why do players deserve it, it's because there's a clear difference in, people are coming out to see LeBron and Michael Jordan and players who are clearly better. Like, it's pretty obvious to everybody. If you've never watched a game, but then you start watching it, you're like, I remember I hadn't seen much hockey, but you go to a Stars game in 1999, you're like, that guy's way better than, and it was Mike Modano.
Yeah.
Like, you could just tell. Can you tell?
I can't, but can people who are really into dance tell?
Yeah, I don't know.
Beth says no.
And that's why it seems like, I don't know.
Asked and answered.
But anyway, so yeah, let me get to this audio, and there's a ton of other stuff in here, but So Kelly is the director. She used to be a cheerleader, and Charlotte, your love, is talking about Kelly, and then they'll get into money and everything.
Kelly was one of the greatest decisions I've ever made. In 1990, I hired her as our director. When we came in as a family and when my dad came in, the team was in financial disarray.
Isn't it kind of funny, too, that Jerry Jones buys the team, and I have a daughter and I have a son. All right, the son, let's groom him to run the team. The daughter, hey, you can handle the cheerleaders.
Yeah, but it was never going to be another way.
The team was in financial disarray.
My conversation with Charlotte was, look, we're losing money every year with the cheerleaders. Can you keep the cheerleaders doing what they do best, but make it a profit center?
She did things like introduce swimsuit calendars, the reality show in 2006.
The magic is in the knot. Ooh, hold your breath.
Get Mattel to do a special edition DCC Barbie.
And the revenue is in excess of $1 million a year. And what's more important is the cheerleaders stand on their own. They're a self-contained financial entity.
That was also from like an old news report, so who knows what the cheerleaders can be responsible for now.
Yeah.
But that was 20 years ago, it seemed like he was
at least.
Yeah.
But it's important to point out.
So this is Sarah, actually. Sarah Heppola is actually in the documentary.
But it's important to point out the cheerleaders have historically not been paid very much.
The girls will only be paid $15 per game, but they don't appear interested in the money.
That's the 70s.
I was really surprised that they paid anything because I just thought, because it's an honorary position, that you just did it because you wanted to.
I'm having a blast. I really am. It's all worth it.
I think my game day fee was $35, and we basically donated that back. These millennials, X-Gen, whatever they're called.
X-Gen.
Yeah.
These millennials, X-Gen, whatever they're called, they do look at it as a job, where us old-timers look at it as more of a privilege.
How much are you making as a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader?
So this is a current cheerleader. How much are you making?
I would say I'm making like a substitute teacher I would say I'm making like a Chick-fil-A worker that works full-time.
What do we say that is?
30, 40?
30 grand?
30, 35, yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of cynicism around pay for...
This is Charlotte.
For NFL cheerleaders, and as it should be. They're not paid a lot. But the facts are is that they actually don't come here for the money. They come here for something that's actually bigger than that to them. They have a passion for dance. There are not a lot of opportunities in the field of dance to get to perform at an elite level. It is about being a part of something bigger than themselves. It is about a sisterhood that they were able to form, about relationships that they have for the rest of their life. They have a chance to feel like they're valued, that they're special, and that they are making a difference. When the women come here, they find their passion and they find their purpose.
The question would be, of course, could they do all of those things
while also making more money
and each make $100,000 a year?
Yeah, and the thing that jumped out to me was when she said there's a lot of conversation around it, and there should be.
Right.
It's like, well, you could just pay them more.
Yeah. Especially when you make
kind of controlling that conversation.
Yeah, they make so much, they're worth so much.
Yeah,
it's the question of do you feel? I mean, obviously they don't feel an obligation to pay more.
No,
if they don't have to.
But there's 36 of them, and if they changed it from 35,000 to 70,000, that's like a negligible amount for the overall revenue of the Cowboys. Like they could easily do that, and it just seems weird to me for her to be like, "Yeah, I understand. It's you know how like Gordon makes the joke of "I stand with those who stand against me," which I think is like a Matt Damon quote. It feels like what she's doing. Like, I understand.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not going to change it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's obviously a really interesting thread of this whole thing.
And I think what a lot of people will say is that it opens up like other revenue streams for them.
Sure, but I mean, that's what they try to sell Dak on, being the Cowboys quarterback. You don't have to make top dollar because you will make more as the Cowboys quarterback in endorsements than the Bengals quarterback will make.
Yeah, and I've heard.
But does that mean that
what's the market?
Why shouldn't I? Like, it's not like you're not you're charging as much as you can for parking, even though you can sell lots of T-shirts because you're the Dallas Cowboys. Well, why do you charge $200 for parking? Why don't you just charge $20 for parking because you're the Dallas Cowboys, right? So
of course,
it doesn't work
both
on
ways.
their end. Yeah,
I've heard our friends in the music industry say this before. They call it the Big E.
What's that?
It's when somebody tells you, like, but you're going to get exposure. You're like, well, that's not really worth anything to me. What am I going to do with my exposure check?
I mean, it is. It's like we wonder what is the Instagram is growing, right? And they say you got to grow your numbers. You got to get more blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, what does that translate into?
I respect Rachel's work.
Thank you.
No, not just Rachel. I'm looking at Blake. But what does it mean? What does it translate into?
Be very clear about
actual dollars. I don't know. It's a lot better.
But no,
it's not something you can
put
in numbers or
and
stats. But it's
that's
just
the point of.
and
that's why we don't pay Rachel.
But there is a point of this where they know what they're signing up for, right?
Oh, and they all seem really into it.
Sure, no, and that's the point.
There's really not like
that's why they don't pay.
Yeah, I thought it was weird that like the coach was like, this X-Gen doesn't get it, because it seemed to me that everybody they talked to was really, really on board with what they were doing. Also, if you watch this show, my guess is one thing's going to jump out at you pretty quickly, which is that I think it's weird to be interviewed as a female sitting crisscross applesauce. Did you notice that at all?
I didn't really notice that, no.
Like 4 of the interviews, they're sitting like Indian style.
Sound like Blake's excited about watching this show tonight.
It makes me uncomfortable.
It made me uncomfortable.
Couldn't get a chair?
The whole show makes me uncomfortable.
How come?
Like I said,
just
it's
the
just,
yelling
it's,
at the...
It's just, and the girl who, first of all, did not know that they make them audition every single year. So even if you're like a 4 or 5 year vet, you have to come back and do it all over again every single year. So they got a new crop coming in. They said they get thousands of applicants. They bring about 70 of them to live auditions, and they keep 36.
I mean, every player has to go to training camp.
Yeah.
Players get contracts, though.
It's a competition.
Players get contracts, but you can get cut.
You can
even
get
with a
cut,
contract.
but
it's a lot tougher.
That's pretty ruthless.
But they do say, I mean, it does seem like as they're doing the auditions and stuff, as I've watched 3 episodes now, the vets do get a bit of a
little leeway.
A little leeway, yeah. I know you've been here before. You do know what it takes.
They make them turn their gear in.
That's
every
weird.
Year.
Because it's custom.
Like you have a uniform, and they make you turn it back in so that you feel like you're starting over every year.
And it's custom fitted to them.
And you don't get to keep it if you get cut, even though it's custom fitted to you.
Yeah.
It's hardcore.
One of the girls, I didn't even take note of this, but I heard Brunig talking about it. In fact, Brunig texted us like, hey, you guys got to really watch this thing. It's good. Victoria, she's the second generation. And apparently, as I've watched a few more episodes, there have been 3 or 4 of these. Mother-daughter type of thing. And at least the first 2 that I've seen them reference did not make it in their first go-around. And I almost think that might even be a detriment to you if you are second generation, because now the person doing the cuts has this thought in their head like, oh, you think you're just going to walk in here and because your mom was a cheerleader, I'm going to make you a cheerleader because I cheered with your mom.
Mm-hmm.
But so I wonder if it's even harder to make the team as second generation. I don't know.
No, it makes sense. Like, because they know that you're going to come back. And so they're almost saying, hey, next year. But we're going to put this little psychological dent into you to make sure that you know you ain't shit.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have to come back.
And it does
I
make
can see that for sure.
It does make it okay for when they are cutting people to say, hey, others have come back next year and actually made the team. So it's not like you're totally out. But certainly you're totally out. Like, you're not going to get picked up by another team. And, you're
a little different on that front for sure.
Yeah. And some people, a lot of these girls or women or whatever we can call them, not biological male. I don't know what to do.
Love watching them untangle that one.
Ex-Gen wants me to do are from across the country.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them said that they had like moved there or here just for that.
Yeah, which is really weird.
And then you might not make it.
Because you don't get that. As you know, my stepsister was a Titans cheerleader, but no one's moving across the country just to try out to be a Titans cheerleader.
Yeah.
That's why our grid's messed up.
Because of all these people moving here trying to be cheerleaders. Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing about Victoria...
Do I need to get gas soon?
Victoria, the second generation, they've been dropping hints. I don't know if they dropped a hint in episode 1, so I don't want to spoil it. But I haven't seen the final of this, but it feels like she had an eating disorder before. They're just dropping hints. They haven't got to explain it yet, but they've been dropping hints about how she needed to get her energy up and blah, blah, blah. The other thing is, though, that Brunig pointed out to me, she lives in what seems to be a little kid's room.
So weird, dude.
Like, I think she still lives with her mom.
Yeah, and it's
because she's like 24, 25 or something.
Yeah.
But it's decorated as if she was 8.
And it's like a full-sized bed, and she's sitting...
She was crisscross, yeah.
The whole time.
On the bed.
I'm like, there's Cowboys stuff everywhere. Just, I don't know. That made me really, really uncomfortable. She's like, I love it.
Like she has never left that period of life.
Yeah, and like her mom talks to her like she's a child. She's clearly just seeking the approval of her mom every single time that she's at practice or, any scene like that. It grosses me out.
One rookie is 31.
I don't think I got that far.
Yeah, I thought that was in episode 1.
Maybe.
You'll see it later. She's an orthodontist.
Okay, yes. That's the daughter right there. She's not the orthodontist.
Yeah.
As you might have.
No, the orthodontist, though.
All right. All right, Mr. Veneers, now you're throwing shots at people.
Is the orthodontist the perfect woman? What if your wife was an orthodontist?
Yep.
Making that kind of bank? Then she goes and she's a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader on the weekend.
At 31?
And she's 31.
Yeah.
Okay, but what if she wants to leave her main job to do this? And you're counting on that paycheck.
I think most of them, as we found out from the time that Danny smoked meth or whatever he did with the Cowboys cheerleader, I think most of them keep their full-time jobs. Because there was one lady who was saying that she was, and it might have, I don't think it was the orthodontist, but she's like, yeah, she was a nurse, right?
Yeah.
She's like, I have a 7:30 to 4:30 job. Then I go to practice from 6 to 10 or 11. I get home at midnight. I go to bed at 1, and I'm back up at 6 a.m. to do my nursing job or gig or whatever, like full time. So,
she can have no life.
Yeah. It's just this.
Couple other notes that I have. They showed the judges that they bring in for the initial dance, I guess.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was weird. Just a lot of different media people. One guy is like a CBS weatherman or something.
Was confused about his role.
One, Christy Scales seems to be a big part of this thing. I think we should get Christy in here sometime.
Sure.
To talk about that in the Cowboys.
They want the weather report.
What's that?
I'm pretty sure she's the one in the background of the Mickey clip.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's not a producer?
Okay, we'll play that for her.
It might be, but I feel like they're all on headset.
And
no.
I think the judges, when they sat around judging,
nope.
Like when they were sitting around the table going, okay, who likes so-and-so? I think that should be private because I feel like you're peer pressured when Kelly raises her hand. I'm going to raise my hand too and say.
But in that sense, it's really not that different from like the draft room. You know, I mean,
right.
I've heard my brother talk about this before of like, do you really want to disagree with?
And that's in like the Belichick book.
The guy who brought you in? You know, the scout or the coach or whatever that brought you in? You're like,
that's why it should be.
It should be, yeah.
It shouldn't be public.
Yeah. But for whatever reason, and maybe this is just like, again, male guilt, it's just so much weirder for me to watch this than it is Hard Knocks. Like when you watch Hard Knocks and they're like, basically like, this guy's, he doesn't have it. I'm like, yeah, tough break. But whenever they're doing it about women and about their looks and not necessarily even about their talent, it makes it way more uncomfortable to me. Like when they're like, oh, nice curls, we'll bring her back.
Yeah, no, it's
super weird.
It's interesting. It's a different world.
It's interesting, but it's uncomfortable.
It's a part of your world.
Yeah.
And one more note, they were just going over the history, and you think about today's general manager, what the Jerry excluded because he's the anomaly, but just think of your general manager of your sports team. Tex Schramm invented this. He was the GM.
Yeah.
But he was also worried about the cheerleaders and how to make money that way, and I just feel like things have changed a little bit.
Yeah, my guess is that Brett Veach or whoever is not I'm not checking in on the Tomahawk ladies. Yeah, it's really, really weird. But I mean, obviously it worked out for him. Revenue-wise.
Yeah, in the end. All right. You guys got anything else before we move on to news? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I'll hold it.
Here's Jake with the Dumb Zone News.
What an open. It's going to be so distracting. I can't not look at how awesome it is. Mark Cuban got hacked.
Oh, what do you mean?
Cyberdust?
Yeah, why if it
I
wasn't
don't think
using
it was on
Cyberdust?
Cyberdust, but his actual regular Gmail got hacked.
Didn't he once say he wouldn't come on our show unless you contacted him through Cyberdust?
It wasn't. It's even worse than that. He said, "Dust me." Sorry. Yeah.
Hey, I'm pro Mark Cuban. He's just trying anything he can.
Yeah, why not?
Try it, and it might have picked up, and it didn't. And he goes on right to the next thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I've dusted him a few times.
Is that still a thing?
I don't think so. I think Snapchat kind of eventually
won the war.
Won the war. Yeah. So in a now removed post on Twitter, and I love how news outlets have to do this now. They all say in a now removed post on X, formerly Twitter.
Just because no one really knows it as X?
Yeah. Said he was hacked after he received a call from a fake Google representative who imitated the company's account recovery methods. And
what did they sound like?
You can guess if you want.
Hello.
Oh.
Your Uber driver?
Yeah, just play that on you.
Dan guessed.
I'm just saying, if they were faking a customer service representative, you would think they'd have to get into character in a way.
Yeah. Dan would be really good at this.
There's no Cyberdust. I was just looking for it.
It's not in the App Store anymore?
No.
So he tweeted out the phone number. I suppose just raising awareness. He tweeted out the phone number. He tweeted out the name of the person that he said was scamming him. And then said, if anyone gets anything from mcuban@gmail.com after 3:30, it's not me. But
if he can get...
That's what I was going to say. The fact is, if Cuban
hacked,
can get hacked
although I
and
guess,
get scammed, then...
But people are looking to hack him.
I assume they're looking to hack
But you would think...
80-year-olds.
Wouldn't he have two-factor?
Two-factor authentication?
Yeah, everyone does that.
I hate two-factor.
Yeah.
2FA?
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't do it if I can avoid it. I probably shouldn't announce that.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you just like announce to the world that you don't own a gun?
I'm going to have to start that up.
Is the point of it just you just have to go to the Authenticator app and that's it? You probably know this.
I do the Authenticator app for, Coinbase or whatever.
Yeah, I do it for crypto.
But, no, sometimes isn't there a thing where you have to then go to your email every time?
Yeah. Okay. And Cuban didn't have that. That's surprising to me. The body of a missing kayaker, a 23-year-old man, was recovered Sunday from the Trinity River after he drowned. This happened around Highway 175 in Crandall. I see people, sometimes I go pick up breakfast on the other side of the lake. Like if you have to drive to Flower Mound.
That's a pretty far drive. Why?
Well, I haven't done it since I've lived by you. But when I lived in Grapevine, there's a place over there that it's like 15 minutes. There's a couple places over there I get a little brekkie. And I see people out there and I'm like, man, they look really alive.
Out there kayaking in...
Yeah, in Grapevine Lake.
9 a.m.?
Yeah, and it looks awesome. But I do feel like I'm pretty high on the percentile of you could die doing this. Somehow you screw it up, you tip over.
Yeah, how ironic, too. You wanted to feel more alive.
Yeah, now you're dead.
And now you're dead.
But that's the thing, is like I see people out at Grapevine Lake all the time and think I should be taking more advantage of the lake. It's right there. There's so much cool stuff you can do. Like I told you about that camp my daughter did last week, so I was driving by there every day and thought, I should be out here more. We have a cool lake. It's huge right here.
It's too hot.
Could you swim across the whole lake?
Could I or could someone?
You. Like, how far is it? Chappie used to do the triathlons.
Yeah, it was like a mini triathlon, but I mean, yeah, he still swims.
Like, how far is the lake across? Is it a mile? I really don't know.
No one knows.
Does anyone know?
Nope. No one will ever know.
It's impossible to know.
It's impossible to know.
I was going to look at the map and try and figure it out just visually.
There have been a couple times where
my key
on a dude's trip. Do you have a result there? It sounded like somebody had a bing.
It's only about as long as my pinky.
What's the scale?
That's probably doable then. There's been a couple times on
you could do it
on like a dude's trip where.
Let's do it for the show. Jake has to swim across.
For what?
Like, what's the content play?
Come see it?
Where,
Well, it's you doing something with the lake.
You'll get into the afternoon and you're 4 or 5 in, and you're like, I'm swimming across this thing. Which is the worst idea. Like, that's how people die. In fact, not to speculate, but it's possibly how this young man passed.
That alcohol was involved somewhere?
You'd have to, Speaking of water deaths, an actor from Pirates of the Caribbean died in a shark attack while surfing, which is just horribly, horribly ironic.
Yeah, and it's really rare, right?
And there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there. By the way, a lot of shark attacks lately. Do you notice
He's
that?
right.
There is.
He was right.
He predicted it. Yep.
But shark attacks are very rare, right?
They are rare, but they're...
Isn't it like one a year? Maybe.
No, dude.
Way
more
deaths
than that.
than one a year?
I don't know about deaths.
So there's a shark 10 yards away from the boat. 10 yards.
Man's right. One
No.
fatality every 2 years.
Yeah, but the attacks are like... I'm looking at it. It's 60 a year.
But the chances are you won't die. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but you're mangled.
Yeah. You don't want that.
There were 14 confirmed shark-related fatalities this year, 10 of which were assigned as unprovoked.
What were the other 4?
The other 4 were like, what's up?
What's up, bitch? You want smoke?
Hey, bitch.
Yeah, parking lot at Abuelo's, yeah.
Cute Finn.
What's up?
Oh, you're real tough.
Yeah.
Made
Can't even
movie
get out
over
of the
there
wa-
with
can't
your
even get out of
fin.
the water.
You swimming around? You want a piece? Yeah, I mean, I do think it's happening more now, though, just because of we're, like, socializing them to people. Because, like, people will go out and dive with sharks more now. Video Man, have you ever done, like, are you a scuba guy at all? Okay. I feel like that's a lot of times the same guy.
Yeah, a guy who's really into skydiving is
Yeah.
probably into scuba.
Yeah, self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. But
What's skydiving stand for?
He says your mom.
Mm.
We've socialized them to being around people more. Because people go out and do these tours, and to see them, they have to put meat in the water, right? They have to chum the water so that the shark will come to the cage, and then they're like, oh, people, that means food. I do think it's actually happening more now. But to be an actor on Pirates of the Caribbean and be, in the water for much of your career and then die from a shark, that's a tough break. It's like if you died when you opened Audition and it electrocuted you or something.
Moment of silence.
Whoop.
For that guy. That was it.
So there's a shark 10 yards away from the boat. 10 yards.
I thought this was an odd note from the story. It says lifeguards brought the man to shore by jet ski, which I don't.
Why does it have to be put in the story at all?
I know. It's just a really odd addition. Lifeguards brought.
What if it was by tube? Like they laid him on the tube?
He's Weekend at Bernie's.
And they're tubing, yeah.
Yeah, the banana boat. Yeah. And it says, by jet ski and paramedics assisted with the death pronouncement.
Like if you die on
why do you have to do that?
On the slopes.
Right.
Clearly, the editor needed 500 words.
They put him on a sled.
I've been there.
Yeah.
We've all been there. But yeah, like, did they make you snowboard down dead?
They just kind of tie you to the thing.
I don't know.
And where was that?
That was in Honolulu.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is
so
actually
we don't have to
like
worry about it.
No, but man,
not a lot of sharks around here.
Not a lot of sharks around here. I don't think that's how the Trinity River kayaker passed, but definitely Galveston area. Gulf of Mexico is a hot zone
for sharks.
Yeah.
I'd like to call your bluff, but I've never been there, and you have, so it must be right.
The Gulf of Mexico is a known shark area.
I know, and you're saying it with a lot of authority, but I've heard this before.
Anyways.
And later it'll be a montage.
The Texas coast is one of the safest waterfronts in this regard.
God bless. Result 1.
He just fact-checked you right away?
17 shark bites in 100 years.
None of them are bites. None of them are bites. They're all attacks.
Well, he's saying if there's only 17 bites
in a century,
that means you'd get 17 bites within one attack. He's saying there's just never an attack.
I'm just reading.
An Amber Alert for a missing 6-month-old child in El Paso.
This is from visitgalveston.com, so they probably.
What are they going to say?
They're probably trying to cover it up.
They're not going to tell you anything.
It's not as hot as I thought it would be. Did you just yawn?
Yeah, he's tired of your news.
An Amber Alert for a missing 6-month-old. This is the last one. Missing 6-month-old child in El Paso has been discontinued, and I only bring this up because I got this alert this morning, and I was wondering.
You haven't turned that off on your phone?
I wanted to ask whether or not you had.
Oh, for sure.
You do? You have it off?
I think I did it. It was like a year or so ago. Do you remember that one that came at night?
Yeah.
And it was like from Houston?
Yeah, it's like
And it was like, wait. And it just woke everybody up, and it's like, whoa. And I don't want to be woken up if my own family dies in the middle of the night, let alone if something happened in Houston.
I love Soroy's bit on this.
What's that?
He gets up and just kind of peeks out the blinds. And he's like, all right, I did my part.
I looked.
Because, what are you going to do? You're right. It's in Houston. What am I going to do?
One of the funniest videos I've ever seen in my life is, what's his name? Mark something?
Zuckerberg.
No.
Stein.
We can play it. Whatever. It's just YouTube Mark Amber Alert.
The fuck is that guy's name?
But I think
Mark?
there's the only chance is that there might be an N-word in here, but I don't think so.
Dump and chase?
Yeah.
We can't do that.
But it's just like a video about how they expect you to react when you get an Amber Alert.
What color is Mark?
Mark Curry?
Before we know if
Mark
you're
is not white.
Okay, well then, yeah.
But yeah, just that you're supposed to spring into action with your boys and all assemble.
Looking for a license plate.
Yeah. What are we supposed to do?
We got it. It's a gray Honda.
Yeah. The plates check out.
But were they dirty?
How about Silver?
Yeah, do they have mud on the plates?
Right. Yeah, Silver Alert, my theory on that has always been that there's an island of people, old people living together. That they just disappeared. And that they all, because you just you see the sign, and you're like, well, where are they all going?
Off to die.
It's possible. You want to try it?
You haven't? Oh, he doesn't have it.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know about the Silver Alert. I assume that they're all found or all dead.
Yeah, they don't really update it after.
They really don't. No, you very rarely see the story like this one where they say, "Oh, okay, this is what happened." But yeah, I got this one pretty early this morning, and the first thing I thought was, Dan didn't get this.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm oblivious to that. But I hope they found the kid. That's where I stand.
I got in an anime fight before.
They did find the kid.
Excellent.
They did find the kid. And I suppose there's your news.
The Dumb Zone News. Like and subscribe.
Kick-ass graphic.
That is a kick-ass graphic. Thanks to Jason.
Presents Today in History.
Oh, this is me. It's Monday, June 24th. I've mentioned that quite a few times already.
Yeah, what time is it?
2:21.
Fantastic.
Which tells me we've been going 2:21.
Yeah, now I don't have to incorrectly guess.
If we start at noon. Although, if you are listening to the audio version of the SOD, the cast, the potty,
it would be different.
Then yeah, it'll be because you're going to cut out the long break.
Mm-hmm.
Because we need a long break when we're live streaming on YouTube. Unless we wore those diapers that the astronaut wore.
Lisa Novak.
Or how about...
it's already on the list, so don't play the sounder.
Didn't the lady from your high school...
Wendy Davis.
Do that when she filibustered?
Mm-hmm.
She wore a diaper?
Yeah.
Would you pay for that diaper on eBay?
I'm really not into that, to be honest.
I thought you kind of liked her.
I like her quite a bit. I'm not a big piss play guy.
Mm.
But you do.
I didn't know you were so reserved. Yeah. Okay, so on this day in 1947, it's regarded as the first modern UFO sighting took place as private pilot Kenneth Arnold, an Idaho businessman, reported seeing 9 silvery objects flying in a weaving formation in Washington. You were in Washington, Kenneth Arnold.
What do they mean by modern sighting? After a merger or something?
It's ABA.
Probably not when...
The Super Bowl era.
Yeah.
I was going to say not when Picasso was painting, but this would have been exactly
Yeah,
when
he was cooking.
On this day in 1972...
I like where this is headed.
Culminating a long battle to reach professional baseball, Bernice Guerra. She umpires the first game of a doubleheader between Auburn and Geneva. These are minor league teams in the New York Penn League.
Okay.
Several disputes take place.
Mm-hmm.
She ejects the Auburn manager. This is a doubleheader. Before the second game, she resigns, leaving in tears.
Aw.
Speaking of the Hard Knocks for Ladies, which we can call the Cowboys Cheerleader Show, a lot of crying.
There is a lot of crying.
A lot of crying.
I'm not one to judge on that front. Like
it doesn't
we've
let
already
up
established.
In episode 2 and 3. A lot of crying.
I don't
like
know.
if a veteran gets cut,
everyone cries.
So a couple vets got cut for some of the rookies coming in. And then during the celebration, all the veterans are crying.
Yeah.
So the rookies are there, but they're like, I can't really enjoy this because everybody's so sad that their friends aren't here anymore.
Yeah, well, in the case of the umpire specifically, aggressive play to eject a manager in the first leg of this doubleheader.
Well, do you think they were being real cool with her?
No, I don't. I don't.
How's the name Bernice doing?
Bernice.
How's that in the 2020?
Hasn't come back around, it doesn't feel like.
No.
Like you got your Nora. That feels like an older name, but that's coming back.
Yeah.
I don't think Bernice, it doesn't have that feeling like it would come. Like Nora feels elegant.
Yeah,
whereas Bernice sounds
fat. How did we both just say that at the exact?
Okay.
There's Bernice.
I would have respected her.
Is that her in action?
On this day in 1974,
you're out of here.
Steve,
get out of here.
Hit the shower, see?
Did you guys used to cry after cuts in football? All the guys in the room?
Dominic.
All the guys who made the team, because you were one of the stars on the team.
He's not looking at me.
Jake played football too. Can we not?
We couldn't
Pretty
get cut.
low level.
That's a no.
Can't get cut.
We couldn't get cut.
Yeah, there's no crying.
Let's see. Steve Busby, on this day in 1974, retired the first 9 White Sox, setting an American League record with 33 consecutive batters retired.
Dang.
Because he had thrown a no-hitter in the previous game.
Amazing.
It really is.
It's just amazing.
That Steve Busby once threw a no-hitter. Or 2.
Not just threw a no-hitter. I mean, he was dominant for a stretch. Yeah, it's crazy.
And on this day in 1998, the Dallas Mavericks drafted... Anyone?
Robert Tractor Trailer.
Robert Trailer with the 6th overall pick. And that's all that happened.
The funniest part about that is that Donnie kind of left.
We once had Donnie Nelson in studio. Do you know this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You don't have to tell Dominic.
And it was what? It was Robert Trailer's death day.
It was the day that he died.
Morning.
Yeah.
And yes, we asked him if...
No, not we.
If the Mavs, if he thinks the Mavs won that trade.
He laughed a little bit.
Because he knows they did.
Yeah.
Current Cowboy Wanye Thomas is 24.
He scored the first touchdown of the season.
Did
really?
Didn't he return the kick against the Giants? Or did he block it?
I know he had a blocked kick in that game.
He either blocked it or returned it for a touchdown.
There's no way to know. Former Ranger Robbie Ross is 35. Former star Yeri Lettinen is 51.
Love death metal.
I used to think his number should be retired.
And you've come around on the other
I
side
wonder.
of that?
I don't know. I mean, he was great.
He was great. I loved him.
He loved playing flipper. We ran into him and a couple of the Finns when we went to training camp in Colorado one year. Because when Bob and Dan first started, we had to like pay our dues, so they wouldn't send us to the Super Bowl. Instead, we got to go to the NHL All-Star Game. And they didn't send it. I don't know if we didn't go to. No, we went to training camp. But for some reason, they sent us to Stars training camp too.
Okay.
And then he would tell us, Yeri Lettinen was like, we'd be like, hey, what'd you do today? Like, all the Stars were so cool. They've always been really cool.
Yeah.
Like just the hockey players in general. And he was like, yeah, we play flipper. We're like, oh, okay. Like, hey, what do you guys do in your spare time? Oh, flipper. All right, I had no idea what he meant. And then one day we kind of saw him out. And they just left lunch or something. And, hey, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're going to play flipper. Okay. And so we walked with him. It was a pinball machine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But in Finland, apparently, they don't have pinball, or they do call it flipper. Anyway.
That
Messi.
story rocked.
God damn it, I knew it would suck.
Great story.
Once I got into it, though.
You were committed.
I'm in.
Yeah.
And I couldn't.
And I've told you a million times before about how funny it is to watch him play basketball.
Roll back down here.
All hockey players,
It's
or
not
just
really
the Finn?
all, but specifically the Nordic players. A lot of set shots.
Yeah, no jump shots.
No jump shots being taken.
A lot of travels.
Yeah, I could have hit 20 and 10 easily.
Messi is 37.
I was in Spain when he was like 17.
Was he a big deal?
Dude, he was God. It was LeBron.
Did you watch any Copa over the weekend?
I did not. I mean, I saw some highlights, Blake, but I didn't watch it.
I had no idea it was at AT&T Stadium.
Yeah.
No clue.
And neither.
The United States played a game at AT&T Stadium.
All right.
Apparently it was a big deal.
Yeah.
That part of the World Cup?
No,
No.
it's not part of the World Cup. The World Cup is just the World Cup.
Well, I know we have other games.
Like qualifying and stuff.
Yeah. No, this is a separate tournament.
Okay. Wasn't that bad of a question?
No.
It was,
Yeah.
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 All right.
Until I watched the news last
There's
night, I had no idea. Either.
Mixed reviews. My question. JJ Redick is 40.
Wow. Happy birthday, bud.
Happy birthday, man. Here's a team.
Rich Eisen is 55.
I think I like him.
Yeah. I remember when he left ESPN, it was like, oh my God, what's he doing?
Yeah.
Can't leave ESPN. Monet Davis is 23. You remember her?
Remind me.
Yeah.
She-
Little League pitcher. Female pitcher.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
That was dominant in the World Series, Little League World Series.
Actor Peter Weller is 77.
Hit me.
RoboCop.
Oh, wow.
He is RoboCop.
That's a great movie. Bitches leave.
It really is. Well, I hope the Alamo comes back.
It's a great movie.
Solange
Knowles.
Once
punched Jay-Z in an elevator.
I mean, how many Solanges are there? And wait, Destiny's Child. Was like Roy Williams, the defensive back, dating someone from Destiny's Child?
Yes. Not Solange, but Kelly Rowland. Rowland?
That sounds right.
Kelly Rowland.
Yeah.
And I think she's from Dallas.
She is.
Yeah.
Mindy Kaling is 45.
The Office.
Funny. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Born on this Day, Now Dead, Chuck Taylor.
Of the shoe?
I think of the shoe. Says here he died the day before his birthday, so he must have died yesterday.
He almost did it.
Almost closed it.
Also born on this day, now dead, Charles Joseph Whitman. Who's that, Blake?
Walt Whitman? I don't know.
No.
Let's see if Dominic knows.
Charles,
I know Jake does.
Charles Whitman?
Yeah. Charles Joseph Whitman is the way people will refer to him.
I got nothing.
If you've ever seen Full Metal Jacket, they talk about him there.
The Tower?
He's the Tower. He did the Austin shooting. Have you heard of that?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He killed 17 people in a mass shooting at the University of Texas. Before he did that, he killed his mother and his wife that morning.
Yeah, it's a wild story because I think he probably had what we would now call PTSD.
Right. That's why he was featured. That's why the sergeant was talking about him in Full Metal Jacket, because he was heralding him, holding him up as a. That's what a great shot a Marine is.
Yeah.
That he only fired like 18 rounds, but he killed 17 people.
Yeah, and I think that they might have like looked at his brain afterward, and it was not
all mushied up.
Yeah, it was not a good situation.
Died on this day, still dead. I actually got an email about this today. It is Grover Cleveland, who there's a few copy points. One is, well, do you want to give copy points?
Sometimes I mix these up, but did he go to the nursery?
He went to the nursery, but I was going to first say at least he was the only president, as the emailer Brian says, so far.
Yeah, Joey's maybe chasing this record down.
Who served 2 non-consecutive terms.
Oh, I thought you were going to say died in the White House.
No.
Okay.
He was the 22nd president and the 24th.
DT.
And that's what, Donald is looking to get that.
Yeah. No, but I'm pretty sure my copy point on him is, and I don't have the exact numbers or specifics, but he married a woman that he met when he was probably 25 to 30, and she was a baby.
So Brian...
She was a friend. She was the daughter of a friend.
So Brian gives a little more detail.
Okay.
Because he said, I just read a book about him.
What a nerd.
He was a pretty spare president, mostly concerned with tariffs and the gold standard and shit.
That is spare.
Grover met his future wife when she was an infant. In fact, he bought her first baby carriage because she was his best friend's daughter. Mm-hmm. He married her when she was 21, and her dad was very dead. She was 27 years younger than him, the second largest age gap for any president and first lady. And he says pretty effing gross, if you ask me.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Who's the largest?
It's got to be
Trump?
It's
the
got
largest age gap? What's his age gap? More than 27 years?
I think so. Doesn't look like Blake's going to look it up, so I'll take a stab at it. He's 78. She's 54. Oh, so maybe that's not...
Yeah, 28.
Okay, yeah.
That's way longer than 27. Also died on this day, we have Chris... Is it Benoit? Is that how you say his name?
Jake.
That's not Jake.
You wore the shirt.
No, I didn't. Soroy did. Stop ascribing horrible acts to me. I haven't.
What's his bit?
Chris Benoit killed his family. He was a wrestler. I think there was a Bowflex involved. He might have hung himself from a Bowflex.
Boy, a lot of people killing families on this day.
And one of the days when we went to a music festival, Soroy wore a shirt that said Chris Benoit was framed, which is
wow,
obviously pretty much impossible.
So this must be the day he killed his family, because it just says here he died of suicide.
Yeah, I think that all happened, again, concurrently.
Usually you do that pretty close to...
You don't have a lot of hang time.
You don't, you don't see anyone that
so
takes,
to speak.
takes a week off and then thinks about it.
Do you want to watch the Amber Alert video?
Did they study his brain too?
You know what? I think they might have actually. I think so.
That's all probably mushy as well.
Yeah.
Patty, my last one.
Okay.
Patsy Ramsey.
The mother.
The mother of
John Bonet. Another funny T-shirt I once had.
What was that?
It was just a photo of John Bonet, and it says, "I know who killed me."
Okay.
Come on.
Where are these T-shirts? Have you
store.
gotten rid of them?
No, like the
because I feel
the
like
top
that.
of the pops I still have.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
The George Bush one.
I have that
Are they ever coming back? Wait, you have the George Bush?
somewhere. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't want to get kicked off YouTube though. Or is it? We've already.
Yeah, we're probably already.
That's probably.
This whole thing.
I think you can still play this, right? Like even though it's somebody else's thing.
We're just. Yeah.
Just play it. I want Dan to see this.
Yeah, over to the right. To the right.
Good call.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah. Mark Phillips.
Black guy gets an Amber Alert. He picks up his phone. He was playing a video game, but he sprints outside. At the same time, all his neighbors have sprinted outside as well.
Well, they all got to hop.
6 guys running down the street.
They all have to hop in a car to chase down the car that just left. This is how they expect you to react at 3 o'clock in the morning. Now they've got like a Fast and Furious chase scene. Now they've cut the guy off and they're gonna pull him out of the car.
I got the baby.
I got the baby.
They're beating him up. Takes the baby. And
Yeah,
he runs
there
down.
Really solid.
Yeah, one of the funniest videos I've ever seen. Because like, yeah, what are you supposed to do? Like, I guess
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what we're supposed to do.
Squat up.
Do you have closing remarks, Colin?
Oh yeah, happy birthday.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was awesome. I really enjoyed being here. This was really cool.
Are you proud of her?
Yeah. It's almost kind of jealous in a way because I think a lot of people are to be part of this show or around.
Does she complain about us every day?
No, just Blake.
Well, as you know, guys can't get hired.
Yeah.
No,
Rob's got a very
recently learned that with Drop Beth.
Rob is the last man to be hired.
No, I guess I got 2 things. A quick shout out to my guy Steve Nolan, who's the director of tennis at Spring Park. He was the first person I saw wearing Dumb Zone merch.
Nice.
He was out on the tennis court giving a lesson. I was like, oh,
all right,
nice shirt. And
dumbzonemerch.com.
Yeah. Thank you.
You know what? I think it's thedumbzonemerch.com. I went to, the domain site that I buy domains at because I was looking to buy something else this weekend.
Yeah, I just typed in dumbzonemerch.com and it redirects right to the E6 store.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we have them both.
Solid.
Hey, my bad.
You're good, bruv.
And then last thing, this is just kind of a warning for people because I know everyone's thoughts on Dude Perfect here and those with small children. Dude Perfect actually has their own prosthetics that you can choose from. So
what the hell does that mean?
That would really be very bad and ironic if you have to get a Dude Perfect like arm or leg if your kid loses a limb.
Wait, how do you know this?
I work at Scottish Rite.
Oh, okay. Wait, I could have.
Boy, you really
almost.
Why did you ask that?
That was the worst fault.
Oh, I immediately regret that answer. Yeah, I've really gone somewhere with that.
Yeah.
Well, so what does it look like?
Learn. It's extreme.
Their color scheme and it's got the DP on it.
I didn't pay much attention to it. When I heard they were coming, I was like, I don't want to be a part of this.
We got to get in that game.
But like,
prosthetic
Dak
game?
has one. Yeah. Dak has a prosthetic. There's like a bunch of random or artists locally in Dak, and it's like 7 people that pitched in for these like prosthetics you can choose from.
Boy. Man, I've never been more upset that their kid isn't missing a leg.
Yeah.
And they came to the hospital.
That could have been so bad.
Could
have been so bad.
Oh, you got to see him at the hospital?
I didn't. I wasn't working that one. Oh, I was the person that found the Justin Monty skiing video.
Wow.
So when I heard that, I was like, oh, we archived that. That's somewhere in the hospital footage. So I was the one that found that and sent it to Monty.
That's pretty awesome.
All right, so there's an Instagram video of this Dude Perfect prosthetic, And the kid is sitting here waiting to get
It's exactly
what looks
like
like
you'd
his
think it would
arm,
be.
and effing Dude Perfect walks in like, no, I would like an arm.
Mm-hmm.
Not to meet Tyler.
You don't.
What if you could do them both?
You don't know
Look,
that though.
And Tyler brought the arm in.
No.
He's holding the prosthetic arm and gives it to the kid.
That's
okay.
And
we've gone too far.
He attached it to him by throwing it off.
And then now they're
200 times.
Now they're throwing a Dude Perfect football together, and he signed his arm.
Okay.
I hate.
Let's get out of here.
Adios, mofo.